I do see some faces, some happy, some anxious out backside. I'm sure you are reflecting on your preparation, whether you are ready for startup pitches or not. But trust me, you are in a right place, you are in a right ecosystem. Today, you will not be disappointed. Saying that, I welcome all for Indian Startup Festival 2023 Curtain Raiser event happening in our own city, beloved city, Hyderabad, our own ecosystem, T-Hub. I'm Nagajyoti Avusingi. I go by Jyoti. I'm software engineering senior manager in one of the US bank. I'm here as a volunteer for ISF. I do have my co-host.
We may change. Good morning, everyone. This is Shekhar Dixit, founder and CEO of Amelio, which is a social network for food. So last year, we were on the other side of receiving participant on ISF. And this time, I'm part of the volunteer and organizing team, helping startups and investors to assure for this great event. Thank you.
Thank you, Shekhar. We are humbled to receive overwhelming response for our Curtain Raiser event. We have 130 plus investors and mentors who came today, grace this occasion. We have 1,000 plus startups who have registered for Curtain Raiser. Initially, we planned this agenda a little differently. We wanted to have investor panel discussion. We wanted to have investor one-on-one speeches. But we did receive umpteen number of requests from our startup friends that they wanted to have one-on-one overlap with investors. Keeping these requests in mind, we just balanced today's agenda. Having said that, we would really like to recognize our investors for their continuous support, contribution, and encouragement for startup community. May I request all delegates from startup, all volunteers, to give huge round of applause for our investors and a standing ovation. Thank you all. I also take this opportunity to thank Ajit Garu, who is our chief guest today, and our esteemed guest who graced this occasion. Also, some of our media friends. Thank you so much for coming out for this event. High-level agenda for today, before we start the session. We are going to have a curtain raiser event, followed by exchange of MOUs with ISF, a quick Q&A, especially with media friends, followed by core of today's event, which is startup pitches. With that introduction, let's begin our session. Why don't we have one more round of applause to start this session with high energy. Thank you. So let's start the session. I would request some of our esteemed guests to come on to the dais. I know that we have many esteemed guests with infrastructure limitation. I'm kind of calling some of them, so please forgive us for this one. Request our own ISF founder, Jay Chaudhary Garu, to come on to dais. Request Ajit Rangnekar Garu, our chief guest, former Dean of ISB, Director General Rich, Government of Telangana. Request Mahankali Srinivas Rao Garu, we call him as MSR, CEO of T-Hub. I request Dr. Tasneem Sharif Garu, Secretary General, Amicability Diplomatic Club, Trade Commissioner, Nambia. Sure. Yeah, we still, please. We request V. Lakshmikant, VLK Garu, Managing Partner, Pavestone Capital. Request Dayakar Puskuru Garu, Founder, MD, Dallas Venture Capital. Request Satish Andhra Garu, Managing Partner, India Partners. Sri Vamshi Krishna Reddy Garu, Partner, Calorie Capital. Mr. Vikrant Varshne Garu, Managing Partner, Succeed Innovation Fund, Venture Capital. Mr. Ramesh Kaja Garu, Head of Strategy, Transformational International CIO, State Street, IT Advisor for Government of Telangana, Secretary for SESC. Request Rashida Adenwala, President of TAI Hyderabad Chapter, Founder Partner R&A Associates. Request Manisha Sabogaru, Center Head of Infosys Hyderabad, President for ICIA. And I know that first woman President for ICIA, round of applause. Sanjeev Deshpande Garu, Regional Head of APAC, MD CEO of Entity Business Solution. If we have Sandesh Deshpande Garu. Okay. Thank you all our esteemed guests. Let's continue with the curtain raiser event. We'll start with Jay Garu.
Sanjeev? Oh, next time I met you. So I saw you coming. Good morning to all of you. Eid Mubarak. Today it's a festival day, and ours is also India Startup Festival. We are celebrating this festival because a lot of startups are really doing very well in the country. Our startup count with Startup India is already crossed, I was told, 1 lakh startups in the country. So that is one moment of celebration. The other important celebration point is we had a similar event in Bangalore about 3 weeks back. It was also curtain raiser. We thought that Bangalore will get more number of startups, more number of investors and mentors, but there the count of mentors and investors were around 50, thanks to some of our VCs like VLK. They traveled all the way from Hyderabad to come to Bangalore. And number of startups registered and participated was around 500. We thought in Hyderabad, Bangalore itself, which is the capital of India startup community, the numbers are like that. So here probably 50% we imagine in terms of the investors as well as the startups. That's why when I approached our MSR Garu, who is the CEO for T-Hub, to show us a hall which can accommodate around that number. Now, problem is we have to reject a lot of registrations who registered after the count has gone beyond 1,000. I don't know how many people are staying outside. This shows that Hyderabad is really a big competitor for Bangalore, even in the startup world. Earlier I was thinking that Bangalore is number 1, Hyderabad maybe number 2 or 3. Looks like, I think with the support from the Telangana government and also infrastructure like T-Hub and all the people, investors and mentors in Hyderabad, I think we made Hyderabad is also one of the destinations for the startup companies to survive and succeed. That's another reason why we had to celebrate today. The reason why we had this journey, India Startup Foundation, we are also like startup. In fact, we are much worse than many early stage startups. We are just 8 months old. We thought about this about 8 months back. The reason is when I saw the kind of disturbing news, like ChatGPT is coming over, quantum computing is coming, a lot of things in the technological tsunamis are coming. I was just imagining, what if whatever they are saying, if that happens? Will the number of jobs in the cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai, wherever the IT companies are recruiting, already recruited, if the generic programming jobs, testing jobs, all those things are automated, what will happen to India? Because India, with the density of population, what we have, if the youth are not properly advised and they are not properly taken care of, and that youth becomes unemployed youth. In addition to that, existing employees from the industry, they are also moved out because of the layoffs or whatever. It could be a recession problem, or it could be ChatGPT kind of AI tools problem, whatever it is. What will happen to us? See, this youth, I have seen when I was studying in IIT Madras, there were hardly any jobs in India. There were only few IITs were there and a few engineering colleges. Even for them, there were no jobs. Thanks to IT industry, we have created, whether it's a mechanical diploma or metallurgical diploma, everybody, we were able to take it. And really, I mean, all this 20, 25 years, IT industry really took care of the Indian youth, taking them and pushing them to US and various other countries. All that was a good run rate we had. Have a glass of water. Recently, I'm a bit unwell, so because of the medicines, my throat becomes very dry. So, what I thought is, if that really happens, అంటే తెలుగులో సామెత ఉంది, కీడెంచి మేలించమంటారు. So that may not happen or may happen, we don't know. But imagine that's happening. What will happen to India? The so-called Amrut Kal, $1 trillion economy. So all today, majority of it is IT-driven economy, because we are able to recruit millions of people, good salaries and all that. They are spending money, consumerism increasing, everything is going good. Today, just for sake of imagination, say IT industry in Hyderabad is not there. Just imagine what will happen, how many families will get impacted. So that is the kind of fear I had, and I thought, why don't we look at what are the solutions? So I thought, if only we can really help the startup community. In India, a lot of, by then, a lot of people are already getting into the startups. Some startups got into unicorn, and some may be getting into decacorn kind of a thing. So I thought the startups won't be working in yesterday's technology. Most of the startups, they have to get funding, they have to survive. They have to obviously work in tomorrow's technology, and obviously they have to work in an innovative way. Then only any investors will put money into those startups. Whether they have to train the manpower and all that, that's a secondary thing. But for them to really succeed as a startup, they have to think differently, because they have to compete with a global startup community. Not that one startup in Hyderabad, if he thinks that, no, my competition is only in Hyderabad, I don't think he can survive like that. Any startup, they have to think competition is global. When they are thinking competition is global, naturally they will come out with the innovative idea, innovative business processes and new technologies. Then only they will get funded, then only they will get the business, and they will survive and succeed. When they succeed, obviously they will need some manpower, and also they create wealth for the nation. So jobs for the nation, wealth for the nation. These two are the fundamental thing which I thought, by supporting the startup ecosystem, by bringing them together and connecting them to all the investors, mentors and market leaders who can actually provide the business to them. Because many of the startup community, I myself have gone through 2 startup companies. So initial days, very difficult to get, even nobody recognizes you. So when nobody is recognizing, who will give business to you, who will give funding? So that's when I thought that people like us, in fact, I was telling my friend Ranjan Chek, he wanted to take retirement. I said, boss, this is not the time for us to retire, and this is the time for us to really go full energy to see how we can connect with our network, so that these startups will be benefited. So I was also telling him how Abdul Kalam led his journey. Till the last breath, he was doing something, and he collapsed somewhere in one of the northeastern states by giving a lecture to some students. I think all the invited guests today think that it is our responsibility. When India is going through this transition time, when all the good things or bad things, whatever is happening, I think our important thing is, very, very important thing is, we need to see how the job creation engine do not slow down. The moment it slows down, It will have a lot of other this thing. Our democratic system, everybody, they will try to take advantage of those unemployed youth, ask them to come for meetings, and all those things will happen. But what will happen to if suppose rail rokos, rasta rokos, bus rokos, auto rokos is happening, even the existing companies also, what is this? A lot of disturbances, they will also start looking at other places. So it's very important. In fact, I was talking to one of the people sitting on the dais. He was also telling we are not creating even the manpower required for these startups. Human capital, all our BTechs, universities and all that, they are in still industry 1.0. They are not even talking about industry 4.1 or 5.0 already has come. So how do we create the human capital? Otherwise what will happen? The startups who have started here, there is no manpower. VLK was telling another day in the ICA meeting, the depth of the distance. That's a very good example. When there is a depth of the distance, why the startups will give jobs to somebody who does not know quantum computing, who does not know some of the algorithms which are required to be developed? He will always, suppose they find somebody in Czechoslovakia or Poland or with PhDs in mathematics, because of the depth of the distance, he not have to come, but he will outsource that work to him and get that work done for his startup, because startup, they have to come with a product or whatever solution better than his competition. He can't, no, I am not having manpower here, I have to train, I'll start after 1 year and all that. Shobhu, please come. Why don't you come and sit on the dais? There's one chair. Come. So, that was the main intention why I thought of creating a foundation. Fortunately, this foundation is owned by all the volunteers. They are all successful entrepreneurs. They are all CXOs from large companies and small companies. Nobody owns this foundation. Like any startup company, this foundation do not have any money. And in fact, when we started our first festival in October 22 last year, there was no money in the foundation and we were not having any website, no domain names of the conference, but still we ran that FEST'22 conference in Bangalore in Mudanhalli, like all the who's and who's from the investment community, CEOs and large MNC heads of India like HSBC and all these companies, all their India heads were here, including Ramesh Kaza and Satish Chandra, all these people who are sitting on the dais, VLK, they were all there supporting the startups. And we received about 2,500 startups for the startup competition that time. And out of that, we selected about 18. See, normally what happens is any conference, after the conference, they don't really bother about those companies. So what we have done differently, soon after the conference is over, I told all the people who are there in our committees, no, don't log off from your committees. We are converting the same committee as the mentor committee. So the mentorship started within 2-3 weeks from the conference. 3 weeks. Within 3 weeks from the conference is over, our weekly, every Saturday, 10:30 to 11:30, 1 hour, 200 mentors, every company who are selected in the 18 members list, they used to come and pitch their this thing, and we used to solve whether it's a funding issue or a technology issue or market access issue, whatever the issues they presented. In fact, some of them who got benefited by our startup festival activities, ISF, they're all here. Probably maybe one minute they can say what they got out of ISF 22. Maybe Ramana, starting from you. Can somebody give the mic? Or quickly you come here and tell, without wasting time. Come here while somebody is talking.
I got the mic. Good morning, one and all. I have been one of the recipients of India Startup Festival, and thanks to Jaygaru and his team, I'll highlight the salient points which were very impactful for us. As any startup founder, you would find yourself on a very lonely journey. And it's very important that it's not just funds that you need. You need that constant backing, constant push. And that's what we received from our mentors there, especially OSS Prasad Garu, who has been here. He has been instrumental, thank you, sir. He has been instrumental in making us rethink our own goals, reset our own targets. And this is possible because the mentors whom we have here, they have not only traveled this journey a few more steps than us, but also have successfully built businesses. It is not that they have failed. They all are successful entrepreneurs and they are sharing their experience apart from running their businesses. So you can see the ones who have absolutely no ulterior motive in your benefit, if they are sharing time and energy with you, that means they are truly involved or truly in sync for your benefit. So I really thank sir for this opportunity. I'm sure many more startups will be benefited like this. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, good morning, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate Telangana government for celebrating the first anniversary of 2.0. Thanks, MSR, Mr. Srinivas Taluka, and everyone whoever are here, assembled from T-Hub. Being a proud T-Hub startup, our journey started with ISF. Till that time, no one knows Atom State. So they are the one who has given the recognition to us, and that has built a lot of confidence. And from there onwards, we are not looking backward at all. I'm very happy for that. Only one point I would like to really highlight is that the sort of mentoring is happen every Saturday. Post the event I'm talking about, that's a great, great idea, Mr. Jay Garu, because that has helped me and other T-Hub startups like Praveen, my friend who is also here, Accelero. In fact, we have even got the customer connects. They go to the customers and connect these startups. So that is how we have opened up so many opportunities for us. It's been really my honor to be part of this great ISF ecosystem. Thank you so much.
Hi, two pilots, two engineers, that's our company, building full motion flight simulators, probably the only one in India. Challenging a global oligopoly, 80% market held by 3 companies for nearly a century. Very unique product, built out of passion and patriotism. Unknown path, unknown market, long gestation. The first organization to recognize us was ISF 2022 Bangalore. We were in the top 10 out of the 2000. I didn't even know that we were winning. I gave my pitch and I left. Next day I got a call, you won. So I met, then what happened normally, I didn't expect it. JSR and Dina visited my workshop, flew my simulator, saw it in person, very rare. Next, the business is with Ministry of Defense. I asked, sir, how do I approach? I couldn't believe I got a meeting with Dr. Satish Reddy, who reports to the Defense Minister, step jump. Next connection, DRDO ADA, Program Director, Mr. Jadhav, came to my simulator, again tested it and said, okay, we'll go ahead with it. Once it's a little more mature, come back to us. See, the steps I'm telling would have taken me 3 years on my own. We are at a stage now where Air Force has come, flown, given their recommendations, and we are the only Indian company being considered for spatial disorientation simulators by IIM. There was a plenary session on Tuesday. So, ISF last year was the one which gave us confidence. And I can't thank ISF, Jay Garu and everybody else in the team who mentored us and helped us along this way, giving us the connections with government, which otherwise are nearly impossible for a startup to get, despite being ex-defense. Thank you, sir.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Mahesh. I'm doctorate by biomedical engineering and science, but I ventured into agri-tech company. As you know, agri-tech company is something, it is booming at the moment, but you don't have many investors and the greater community to support this. But again, the ISF is the one platform. We have got the all support, not just from India, but across the world, from UK and many other European countries. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Raghav Mamadipalli, co-founder at Amelio. Amelio is a AI-based, community-powered social networking platform for. I'll just take 30 seconds to what we are. If you imagine Hyderabad, basically we are an Instagram for food. You can imagine TikTok for food, and if you want to imagine Hyderabad to be a micro community for restaurants and foodies, where restaurants can showcase their menus and experiences while the foodies can actually click to a book and tap to order the food. So basically, in a truly connected Amelio world, connections can be made over interest, and food becomes a conduit for social networking. That is the essence of Amelio. But I want to speak about ISF. We are here because of ISF. ISF has been a great platform. For us, they have opened up global access of investors, mentors. We have been able to close first round of funding. We are recognized by Google now, one of the top 30 AI ML startups in the APAC. And now we are ushering in new startups. And I'm speaking to all the audience here. We are happy to connect to all the investors who can work with us. We're happy to tell our story and go forward with this. I welcome all the startups, budding startups, and I wish them all the best.
So one thing I forgot to mention, he's my partner in crime. He's the co-founder and I'm the founder. So I wanted to have him share the dice and share our emotions with you. Thank you, Raghav.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Sharath. I'm the founder CEO of a startup called Hiring Hood. Our journey also started with ISF. We are skeptical who will listen to our stories and all earlier. But luckily, because of the ISF event and support from Jay Garu, we pitched our idea in last year and we got good support, mentors from, as most of my colleagues have, or my friends who are a part of ISF have shared. We have got fantastic support from ISF mentorship team. They gave us leads to the investors and they also have guided us on so many things because they have fantastic experience guiding startups. As some of my colleagues also said, startup journey is a lonely journey, as I rightly agree. And now when we are part of ISF and the Saturday meetings there, we always felt we have an army of SMEs with us, which gave us a lot of confidence. And that actually one led to the other. We got a T-Spark award from TSIC and we got selected for the T-Angel program of T-Hub. And we also got some term sheets from some of the investors. And we are looking forward to fundraise and we also wanted to get some mentors as well to support our organization. And I wish all my fellow startups best of luck for today's event. And just one line about our startup is basically we are an accelerated hiring technology platform. We help employers to hire people faster because we have built a recruiter aggregation platform on the other side, where we take hot demands on one side, hot supply on the other side, and do a tech using deep tech AI and ML. We match the job seeker versus the JDs, and then we help them employers to hire people faster. That's a big problem that we are trying to solve. So, and we are a B2B SaaS deep tech company. That's what is small brief about our startup. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ram Kumar Verma. I represent Native Araku Coffee, one of the premium coffees from India. So quickly, I wanted to go back and thank ISF because we've been working with farmers for about 5.5, 6 years. It's the competitive market of coffee, right? So coffee is the second biggest commodity in the globe. So when we reached out to ISF when it is actually formulating, when Jay sir said, Ram, I think you need to be part of it. Then I started spending time with the core team to understand how can we really build the brand? How do we really get the network connectivity right? How do we talk about how do we position our organization in the global market? That is when the mentorship has come into picture. And then we started spending time in how do we take this brand to the global level. And today our presence is there in the globe. And one good thing about ISF, which I really appreciate everybody is, every mentor takes the responsibility to add value to the startup ecosystem. It's just not funding. It is just about branding, taking your organization to the next level, where there are challenges on the milestone, how do we bridge that gap? And that's the beauty behind it. I would like to thank ISF team and especially JSR, because for the event of 2023, when Sir was traveling across the globe, he said, Ram, I think we need to carry something very, very unique to India, very, very passionate to India. And that's when they've chosen Native Baraku coffee, and we've given written gifts to every international delegate, traveled all the way from here to UK and US. And I would like to thank, and that's the first brand which we've got in the global market. Thank you so much, one and all, for the opportunity, sir.
Thanks a lot. So this is a small sample. In fact, last week there is one more sample. One of my close friends, he had a great company, and I was trying to mentor him, and he was telling me that I am facing a lot of cash flow problems and I'm not able to grow the manpower and all that. I introduced him to one of my friends in the real estate segment. Why don't you look at investment? Because he needs money immediately. Because I am also general partner in a fund called Succeed Innovation Fund. So we take at least 3 to 4 months, right? Am I telling more? 3 months, yeah. So for a small fund, we take 3 months. If VLK kind of a big fund, you take 6 months. Oh, good. They're competing, good. So, but he wanted money immediately. I mean, the burn is so much and he was not able to, lot of frustration. So, thankfully, that person whom I introduced, he said, Jay, because you are giving the reference, I am putting $500,000 in this company, and now he got the money, now he is trying to take the company to the next level. So, reason why I am telling all of you, it not necessarily only angel investors or venture capitalists have to step in. Hyderabad, I see lot of high net worth individuals. Like for example, I also invested when I sold my company to NVIDIA, I invested lots of land in my native place in Anantapur. It's a kind of a dead investment. Now I am feeling I should have invested that in some good startups, help the startups to create more jobs. Even though I lose some money in some startups, at least in the nation building activity, my money will be useful to somebody who is going to create wealth, create jobs for the country. So I request all the all the investors, HNIs, particularly I request HNIs, look at how you can meet a startup company, particularly initial stages when they don't have any money, because a lot of angel forums and all that, they only look at when they cross that first level. But before they cross the first level, they get into the death valley, the so-called software startup death valley. So why don't we all talk to them and see whether we can give some oxygen when he is in ICU. So that's what I think all the HNAs can do. I request all of you who are present here, please look at, because this is the time for India. Otherwise, whatever you are seeing, all good things, there may be some problems in the coming future because of the AI tools, because of the new technologies. If that really happens, what will happen? Even our real estate business may not grow. If IT industry is not there, even so, to protecting your own industry, please start investing in startups. See that many startups from India will succeed, and also they will become. We should create Apples or Microsofts or Google from India. The time has come. We have a very big market. I think we can definitely make it happen. With this, I really want to thank once again to all my invited guests who have come here. I also want to thank MSR for giving excellent support for us. And we want to make T-Hub as our partner, and we are going to sign an MOU with T-Hub. And Hyderabad, definitely we have a lot of good friends are there. In fact, when I was talking to Vamshi, he said, I have a good idea. Why don't we discuss related to how we can help the startups. So let everybody think, what is that I can do to help the startups? Just 1 hour a week. You don't have to think more than that. 1 hour a week, you donate the time. What is that I can do for helping a startup ecosystem so that they will survive and succeed. So with this, I once again thank everybody for, particularly I want to thank the media friends, and I want to thank all the startup founders who have come here. Definitely, you have a great story. All of you can become successful. Thank you.
I would like to also welcome Shubhu Alagada Garu. He just joined late. So, sir, you might be having many titles, but for us, you are investor and producer for Bahubali. Round of applause.
Go ahead.
We start. Good morning, Evan. So I'm going to welcome our esteemed guest to come share their views and speak for a few minutes. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Srinivas Rao, CEO of T-Hub, the world's largest startup innovation center, very much located in the heart of Telangana.
So first of all, good morning, Eid Mubarak to all of you. I was telling VLK as I was coming up, दुनिया बदल रहा है, देश बदल रहा है, Hyderabad भी बदल रहा है. Imagine an event in Hyderabad which is starting at 9:15 in the morning, right? I'm seeing so many of you. Right? So first of all, when I look at this stage and when I look at this audience, right? I don't know how many of you actually have seen this Avenger, Marvel series, right? This is like a collection of superstars and, superheroes. So first of all, thank you for all being here. So when you think about an entrepreneurial ecosystem, right, what do you need? Obviously, you need startups, you need large companies, you need industry bodies, you need industry associations, you need VCs, you need government and policy makers, all of them to come together. And this is really an awesome event. So first of all, Jack Garu, as I call him fondly, congratulations for putting this together. It is really an awesome labor of love, right? It is really so heartening. I was telling VLK that we must find out what he actually breathes, okay? Because obviously it's some air which we don't breathe, right? So some of you may know he's just gone through a major surgical procedure less than a month ago. But sir, kudos and hats off to you and your team of volunteers for putting this together. I'm sure a lot will be said today. I'll keep this short. But again, I think this purely, getting this whole community together, right? And I think we've talked about over the last year and a half, we've talked about what it will take for us to build Hyderabad to get its rightful place under the sun in terms of building a really world-class ecosystem. We have all the necessary ingredients. We have talent available in plenty. We have fantastic infrastructure. I don't think any other city in India has infrastructure which can even come within a mile of what is being built in Hyderabad. An extremely supportive government. Very few governments in India, forget not India, but the rest of the world would invest the kind of capital which has been gone into building something like T-Hub, T-Works, and the upcoming image behind. So we have all the ingredients. We are an entrepreneurial class. So India's largest infrastructure companies, India's largest pharma companies come from Hyderabad. So there's no reason why we cannot become sooner or later the number one, entity from a IT and from a startup perspective, right? So good to see all of this together. And again, for all the founders, we know today, unfortunately for over the last few months, it's been all doom and gloom, right? Funding winters, governance issues, slowdown of capital coming in, etc. But remember, after every winter, spring comes, right? Or after every, darkness, there is dawn, right? So things will get better. I think you just have to be persistent, keep the faith. You have a great ecosystem which is being put together. There was another initiative which Satish was leading. We had a great event on the 4th 4th of May, along with support from Manisha and her team. So it's good to see so many things coming together. I think while in some ways it might feel that there is a perfect storm, it's actually coming together in a really positive sense. And we can now start to see how we can all collectively work together to make sure we create not just one measure, of course, is unicorns. Well, that is important. It's also about building sustainable businesses which scale, which create jobs. I think Jack Garu referred to the fact that India needs more job creating entrepreneurs, right? And this is a great, pleasure to be associated with the curtain raiser here, and look forward to building a truly world-class entrepreneurship ecosystem in Hyderabad. Thank you.
Thank you, MS Garu. So TAB is the one that inspired me to come back from the US. So I would next welcome Mr. VLK Lakshmikant Garu, the managing partner of Wavestone, to share his words for 2 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. I think there's a long list of speakers, so I think we'll probably spend the whole day out here, I guess. So anyway, first of all, Jay Garu, so thank you very much for leading the way. And like MSR and I spoke, very special energy. I think a lot of startups are looking at alternate energy sources for, EV and hydrogen, etc. Please tap Jay Garu. So that could be one source of energy for all of us. So truly inspired by what you're doing. Happy to be associated with this. Very simple message. I think timing is right. I think everything is coming together. From a world perspective, India is sitting in the right place, right time, right opportunity. And all of us are here in this room is a reflection of that. So more importantly, I believe that the self-belief that we have today is what's going to make the difference. So looking forward to great connections, which leads to conversations, which leads to great relationships. Looking forward to a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, VLK Garu, for those kind words, and thank you for your support. So next, I would like to invite Mr. Dayakar Puskuru, founder and MD of Dallas Venture. He's an entrepreneur by heart, supported many startups. Please.
Hello, everyone. It's interesting for me. I was just here a few months back. Then I would like to say a few words about Jay Garu. Actually, without him, I would not have had a company. And he's the one actually gave us the first internet connection in Hyderabad when we first started. A lot of people may not know, want to recognize, I really kind of call him almost, Hyderabad, IT, sector, father of IT sector, especially. And a lot of people may not know, a lot of young people, when I started my first company in 1996, we take it for granted right now. You can get, maybe 20 internet connections or maybe 100 cell phones. But even getting a phone connection used to take 3 months. And so it was a big dish on our building. Jay Garu came to our office and made sure like we had internet connection. So thank you, sir. Again, he was in Dallas. As MS Garu mentioned, I don't know how he gets his energy and what he went through recently. And he was in Dallas for an event we hosted. Close to 250 people came. That is especially, serving people in the US, not even here. So think about how he thinks about a global, problems he can solve. So thank you, sir. Again, I would like to say a few things about really, for founders, especially, again, congrats. Give a big round of applause to people who showed up here today, right? If I look at really, when I started my company, we did not have any mentors at all, really, especially people look like us, right, in the US. So they used to think if you start a company, you become a CTO, somebody also going to come and run your company. That's the way the whole platform was in the US. But I'm happy to see there's so many mentors available right now and a platform from the government. We should thank the Telangana government creating the T-Hub platform. And pleasantly, especially getting MSR Garu to lead this stuff. I have seen so much energy after coming, sir, here. I'm seeing every month like how much activity is happening, people like us, able to participate. Thank you, sir. Again, one thing I would say, really, please, I know somebody mentioned it gets lonely. It does get lonely being a founder and CEO. I've been through that one. Even after raising $55 million in 2000, we did not have any, kind of founders and all that. I founded only about Thai after raising the money. So please take advantage of what SAR started right now, meet these mentors. don't worry about really fundraising. First, get your product. That's what I kind of call it. Get a product market fit. Or focus on a painkiller versus vitamin. That's all I can say. So I think you will succeed if you focus on painkiller. Thank you.
Thank you, Dayakar Garu. So next I would like to invite Sashi Andhra, Managing Partner in India Partners, to share his words for 2 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations, Jay Garu and his entire Lagan team, for making this happen. I think even, the union government level and across the world, it's very, very clear, right? Startups contribute to GDP. Startups create, employment. They pay more direct and indirect taxes, also create wealth. So I think it's very clear. And for startups, I think the most important things, apart from raising capital that they need, is finding customers and mentors or advisors who are committed, right? So I think ISF making that available is very, very precious. So we should all be very thankful and, of course, take good advantage of what they're making available to everyone out there. My only submission, I've been an entrepreneur before starting Venture Capital Fund. A lot of us, because of either media or peers, or we believe that raising money is the only thing, right, in the journey of entrepreneurship. And that's not the truth. Actually, whether you raise capital or not, it does not matter. What you want to do is solve a real problem and then obviously reach out to customers that care about solving the problem and have the right unit economics so that you can build sustainable and viable businesses. It's okay, if you are on Shireen Bahn's show or ET or Forbes, whatever. Even if you are not there, it does not matter. I think as long as you can create a good company, create employment, make sure that your company is viable and is able to deliver value, I think that's very sacrosanct and that's a great journey. So all of you today, who are here, who are going to pitch, don't expect to walk out with term sheets. I think you're networking with people, you're learning from other peers, and then obviously these relationships blossom and then kind of turn into transactions at certain points of time. Wishing you the very best, and again, thanks to ISF for such a noble cause. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? That's what you shared the key message. I would like to next invite Mr. Vamshi Krishna Reddy to share his 2 minutes thoughts.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, thanks, Jay Garu, for having us here. I think what I've seen in the last couple of years, especially, I live just next door, and the transformation which has been happening just in front of my eyes in terms of not just the building, but the activity that's happening within the building. So I think, thanks and kudos to MSR for actually kind of making that happen. I'm sure, a lot of us spoke about here, what exactly it takes. What I see is when we speak to a lot of entrepreneurs or founders, I think everyone is really looking at, how do we get capital, right? I think I definitely feel there's much more we can leverage out of this network than capital, like whether we get access to customers or early stage angel investors like what Jay was mentioning, or, just accessing the team to build a great team as such, right? So I think there's so many things which are beyond just the funding as such. And I think things are much more easier, I would say, to start up right now versus, what it used to be like maybe 10 or 15 years ago when, some of us started and gone through that journey. I think access to capital, access to networks, access to customers is all within your reach. And it's just about how you go about doing that I think is a very key important thing. And one of the things is that, as a founder, I think we always feel rejected a lot. And I think 99% of the time you're rejected. The only thing I've learned is that there's one check that is waiting out there for you. You need to just go find that, right? And I'm 1000% sure that you have that check written on your name. You just need to go how and find it. So as long as you're on that journey, I'm sure you'll get there. But I think this is a great initiative, and I'm sure with more and more support which is happening from the ecosystem, I think we'll be able to thrive and build larger and greater companies, not just from the country, but more. I would say more on Hyderabadi. So I love to see what we can do out of here. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Vamshikaru. So entrepreneurship is a journey. It's patience and perseverance that makes you succeed. Thanks for sharing those wise words. I would like to next invite Ramesh Kazaji from State Street to share his thoughts and words.
I'm going to break that location. 15 days back, I happened to be in a large group of 22 people from the American Chamber of Commerce members. These are mostly the CEOs from Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Bank of America. Many of the CEOs were there. We were all there in Washington, D.C. We were meeting one of the senators, and those who probably lived in Indianapolis. Currently it is Todd Young. And we walked into the meeting just like any other catch-ups that we were doing as a part of the door knock for 1 week. And I must say that it was such a great elation for me. In fact, I was levitating sitting in that room when 10,000 miles away from Hyderabad, a senator from Indianapolis is talking about Hyderabad as a city. He was talking about KTR. He's talking about how beautiful the infrastructure is. And I'm sorry to say, I love Bangalore. I lived there for 16 years. I still love that city. When the HP CEO is talking about Bangalore, you should see that Todd listened to it for nearly 45 seconds. And then he says, I still like Hyderabad. So just imagine you're sitting here, and maybe we might have never imagined sitting in a place like this, and just look out. It doesn't even feel this is city of Hyderabad. So a beautiful infrastructure is already present, and I'm certainly looking forward to where we will be 5 years from now. For that, we need great platforms. And ISF is one of them. The serendipity it can create by bringing educational institutions, investors, startups, and people like me, who is nowhere connected to the system. I have a full-time job with a company, and I can do a lot of pro bono work, but it's giving me an opportunity to even take this as a platform to give it back to either the startups or the investors or the entire ecosystem. So I would say it's just a start. And if we don't act on this, even the smallest companies or countries like Vietnam's can just take us over in no time. And for us, this is an excellent opportunity to look at how do we use this as a platform to not just only create jobs, but also innovate. And if we have to survive, that's the only way to make it happen. And I would say that this platform could probably do that 5, 6, 10 years from now. So I certainly congratulate all of you making time to come over, and thank you for giving me an opportunity, Jay Garu. And a couple of my friends told, like we have diesel, petrol, we also have a new fuel called Jay Garu. We have to come out with a new name. And he is the one who puts all that energy around. So thank you for involving me here. Thank you very much.
So Ramesh Garu, thank you for the kind words. You rightly said, once you are a Hyderabadi, you're always a Hyderabadi. Right. So next I would like to invite Mr. Sanjeev Deshpande, Regional Head of APAC Entity Data.
Thank you, Ajay Chaudhary Garu, for the opportunity. Startups pitch for the investments and so on. Let me pitch entity for the startups. Entity Data Business Solutions is part of the 30 billion Entity Data Group, which is part of 120 billion Entity Corporation. Spend around 3 billion yearly on research. Have been working in the India ecosystem and acquired and partnered with more than 20 startups in the last 3 years. 2 have them been in Hyderabad. We actually acquired 2 companies. I have a team of 3 people who are sitting there. Today will be very keen to listen to the startup stories. And we intend to partner with right startups who can help us promote our story, also can contribute to the India's nation building. I'm also the convener for the CII Startup Digital Transformation Panel and play a very active role in my district also. I'm from Adilabad, and if you have heard some IT tower coming up in Adilabad, I was the one who was kind of promoting, and we started 5 startups in Adilabad in last 1 year. It is IT, food processing, renewable energy, these 3 areas, 5 startups from supposed to be one of the backward districts. Imagine what we can do when we come together as a community, as a nation. From that perspective, I'm quite hopeful of what we can accomplish. I wish the very best for all the startups who are going to pitch their stories, and also it is not about you pitching. I think I want all of us also to be able to attract the right startups and pitch ourselves so that we find the right fit and we let the startups live their dreams as they progress. Thank you again, and Jay Chaudhary Garu and all the dignitaries on the dais, thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay Garu. You're a true evangelist promoting entrepreneurship in districts. That echoes with the vision of ISF. So next, I would like to invite Mr. Shobhu Yerakarla, the man behind Bahubali. So we have enjoyed the movie that is celebrated across the world, but we never knew the man behind that is Mr. Shobhu Yerakarla. I would like him to share 2 minutes of your thoughts.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for the kind introduction. And Jay Garu, a big congratulations. A very successful event. I think it's much needed in a city like Hyderabad. We have the right infrastructure like T-Works and T-Hub, and we have the entrepreneurial ability. And coming from media and entertainment, I think we are at the cusp of disruption with AI and technology. There are many areas where media and AI can disrupt the traditional way of media is produced and consumed. And I think it's a great time. And Hyderabad is best suited because of the media hub, the visual effects, the CG and animation industry and the filmmaking industry. We are well positioned to take advantage of all this. And these initiatives and the infrastructure being provided by the government, I think will really drive this innovation. I really look forward to this and look forward to, with personal interest, some startups from the media and entertainment space. Thank you. Warm
Shobhu Garu, thank you for the kind words. We're looking forward to Bahubali 3. So next, I would like to invite Vikrant Varshney from Succeed Innovations to share his thoughts.
Thank you. I'll use this side. Thank you, Jay Garu, for making things possible. In most of the phrase, we word make it succeed, make it happen. So succeed is one of the commonly used word, and that's what I represent. I'm lucky to have worked with Jay Garu since 2019. First time it started with Hyderabad FinTech Forum. Then we were fortunate that he agreed to join Succeed Innovation Fund as a GP. And then in 2022, we started to work on ISF. It's taking much bigger shape, and I'm sure gradually it will start to make impact. We are already seeing some glimpse of it. We spoke about winters, right, in the funding. For a startup, they need 3 things largely, right, other than the product. Mentors who would help them believe in their vision, money, which is obviously helping them scale, and market access, which ultimately the product you built, how do you take it to the market? ISF as a platform can organize all 3, and we can probably see with the examples quoted, right, that we've got right mentors, there is money at disposal if you are in a right segment, and there is obviously a market access with the help of all the established folks which are in the room. If you are able to use these 3 M's, and these 3 M's have been picked up from MSR Garu's presentations, there were actually 2 more, but I've forgotten those 2, right, or 6. So as long as we are focusing on these 3, we are good. Everybody from ISF team who has been making it possible, there are many soldiers who are doing their work as a volunteer, and I see some of the friends in the room. Thank you for doing this collectively. At Succeed, we invest in early stage fund. There is no winter for us. We are a well-capitalized fund. We have done 35 investment last year. We've already done 11 investment in this year. So if you are in early stage fund, You know who to reach out to, and we'll continue to support you in the coming years too.
I request Manisha Garu to speak a few words.
Good morning. Today when I drove in, the security guard told me that parking is full. And I felt, oh my God, at 9 a.m. in Hyderabad on a holiday, only Jay Garu can make the parking full. So can we please clap for this successful event which Jay Garu has put together? And I represent HYSIA. I serve HYSIA as president. Some of you may wonder, what is HYSIA doing in a startup event? Well, in next 5 years, 2 million jobs will be created in India, and almost 60 to 80% of those will be in startup and GCC. So if HYSIA, the Association of IT Industry, wants to shape future of Hyderabad, we have to prepare Hyderabad for getting startup, become magnet for the startup. And doing it all by ourselves will be short-sighted. It's important to stand on shoulders of giants, and that's where our collaboration with the mighty people like T-Hub, TIE, and ISF comes into picture. There is so much ground to cover. Couple of months back, we had offsite of HYSIA, where all the who's who of IT industry were participating. And we had a session by Ramesh, not Ramesh Kaza, Ramesh Loganathan, about startup and what can HYSIA do. So we were trying to understand that part. And when we asked the leaders that how many of you want to understand what they can do for the startup, almost all hands went up. So there's a large ground to cover there. And even when Sanjeev here said that he's invested in 5 startups and he's working with 5 other startups, I wanted to know more. So there's so much that we have to do for this movement from employees to entrepreneurs. And that is the movement that we would like to play part in, create awareness, create mentors, give opportunity, give the market access to the startups. There's lots that we can do together. And today we are signing MOU with ISF, and I am really looking forward to the MOU taking shape and actually doing some activities which will be game changer. HYSIA already has MOU with TIE. We have we've drafted the MOU for T-Hub. It has to be inked. We have already done also events with India partners. So we are on the rolls, and we are here to support you in whatever that you require from us. And thank you once again to Jay Garu for pulling us into this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Are these your glasses? No. Okay, sorry. So next I would like to invite Rashida Adinwala, President of TIE Hyderabad Chapter, founder partner at R&I Associates.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. So first thing, when I walked in, Jay Garu says, how come you're so early? Isn't Eid today? So I said, no, of course Eid is there, but my commitment to you is much more. And and of course, Eid, we did our prayers in the morning, and I'm really happy to be here. First of all, I would like to say that Jay Garu was the first founder who actually initiated TIE in Hyderabad in 2003. So he has been associated with the startups, I think, for 30 years now, I must say. And his dedication, his passion, and his commitment to the startup ecosystem, to bringing and to actually nurturing wealth for the country is immense. And we see this, what's happening today. The whole room is full and we are all here. There is some charisma that we are all pulled in here. So thank you so much. TIE is indeed privileged to be part of ISF. We would love to, as you know, TIE also thrives on the 5 pillars of mentorship, funding, trying to education, funding, nurturing. So this is all the pillars of TIE, and which is very much pillars of ISF. And happy to collaborate. And we see a lot of TIE members who are already here, who are already mentors, and we will continue to do what we can. Thank you very much, and have a great day today. Thank you.
Thank you all speakers. Small announcement, we would have our startup pitches starting at 11 o'clock. Request all startup delegates to stay back. With that, I would request Ajit Garu to do curtain raiser. Request technology team to show up the presentation. Request all guests to come back to the stage. We will, Ajit Garu, a quick word from you.
So, in the old days, there was a Hindi film song, "Main idhar jaun ya udhar jaun." So, sitting in the middle, I don't know where I should go.
Yeah,
all right, I'll come there. So, let me first start. Many of you have talked about whether this is the new Hyderabad at 9 a.m. It's nothing of the sort. Okay? I was telling this to Ranjan when we came here. There are only two people who, when they invite you, you have no option. One is God, other is JA. So whether it's 9 o'clock on a holiday, 10 o'clock, you will be there. My association with JA is almost 20 years now. It is probably 20. We started in 2003 and then we did a... When JA was, as you said, the first founder of TIE. And at that time, he came to ISB and said, look, all this education on entrepreneurship is fine. We must do something with the entrepreneurs. And in 2004, we started the TIE ISB Connect. All of it is his idea. I was, like in Hindu, if you have done any puja, the pujari does everything. You sit there and say murmur, murmur, murmur. So my job was murmur. That was the pujari. I've learned that for the last 20 years with Jay. You can't. And from that time, Satish will remember, that first we had actually had to search for entrepreneurs in Hyderabad way back in 2004. But we did. And honestly, there was a lot that needed to be done. And I remember Satish's boot camps and, the amount of effort that certainly these two gentlemen have put in to develop the entrepreneurship ecosystem in this city is unparalleled. And I want to personally thank both of you for today what we are and today what we see. To some extent started from that seed that was planted in 2003, 2004. And the reason I'm telling you, not just as a matter of celebration, because I do see it's celebration and it is, but I think we are now at the 2.0 stage of it. We started the entrepreneurship ecosystem. Now it has to go beyond the ecosystem. This is a movement. And a movement is defined as one where every section of the society participates. Whether it's government, whether it's industrialists, whether it's a civil society, whether it's students, whether it's everybody. And I think we have to now make this ISF as a movement where all of us have to, as Jay rightly said, each one of us, it's not asking too much to give 1 hour a week or 1 hour a month. But unless all of us come together and change and make us as a society both wealthy and one where there are more than enough jobs. And Hyderabad or Telangana I look forward to is where people from everyone want to come here because this is where the future is. That is what we should be. What we used to look at US 20 years ago is what I would like to see Hyderabad and Telangana in the next 5 and 10 years. There are, Jay, 2 other things I think that we should look at as a startup community and as a movement. One, I think climate change, whether we want it or not, is enormously upon us. It is our biggest duty now to start finding new technology solutions for climate change. We don't have time. We simply do not have the time. And the second is the increasing inequity in the world. We simply cannot focus only on our valuations and our wealth creations. Unless there is a more equitable society, unless all of us, not just in this city, not just in this country, but all across the world, have a fair share of everything, we cannot claim to be successful as human beings. So in this movement, I hope we will widen our scope. I know I work with agriculture, I work with public health predominantly and sustainability. Those are all areas where there is enormous difficulty in creating strong business models, in creating small wealth creation, because these are typically double bottom line. And I think all of us owe it to the society we live in to help create those robust business models and to help create a flow of mentorship, investments, and successes in these sectors which will help the society as a whole to flourish. So I'm volunteering, not that if I don't volunteer, you will still volunteer me, so I'm anyway volunteering to be a part of it. Thank you, and God bless you. Take care.
We will proceed with next section of event, exchange of MOUs. May I request Jay Garu to come in front. I request volunteers to keep MOU documents ready. Yes, let's start with our own T-Hub. Request MSR Garu to hand over MOU to ISF team. Request Rashida Adenibala, TIE Hyderabad, to exchange MOU with ISF, Jay Garu. Thank you. Request Manisha Shabu Garu, HICIA, to exchange MOU with ISF J Garu. Do we have Vijay Nandimiti Garu? AG Hub? Okay, we do not have. AG Hub, do we have Vijay Nandimiti Garu? Vijay? Okay. So request Vijay Garu from AG Hub. Ag Hub, sorry. Ag Hub to exchange MOU with Jay Garu. No. Thank you all. We request Dina Garu to give a quick program outline for startup pitches.
Thank you, Jyoti. Good morning, guys. And Ajit, you are 100% right. You know, when Jay asks you to do something, okay, you can try saying no. Trust me, I've tried. Yeah, and when he pulled me into ISF, you know, he had me, you know, at a spot where even if I had said no, it wouldn't have mattered. We were in the car, you know, going from that Mudyanhalli ashram back to Bangalore. He somehow kicked this idea up in his head. And, you know, Jay, it really, depth of distance, VLK, where is VLK? He escaped. He's gone, okay. So it's depth of time. There is no opportunity to think and answer, right? So you have to say, your answer is yes, right? Okay, no. So he said, ISF, we're doing. I said, what are we doing? Right? No, we're doing this, right? So it happened. This was in July. So, and end of July, pretty much. So August, September is all we had. And he pulled this off in October 1st and 2nd. And he said, you know, in fact, then the next thing I realized, Ajit, is better to say yes and then say yes, but. So in fact, this is my trick to you. You can't say no, but you can always narrow down your focus and say yes, Jay, but. So I volunteered to run the pitch session series of this. At least I could, you know, manage my time and my team's resources and all of that. Trust me, that actually worked out okay for two reasons. One, it actually gave me the focus, and I had 100 other things going on and still do. So the pitch session happened, and I will be the first person to stand up and say, it was fantastic, and in a very Indian way, it is fantastically chaotic, right? And but great things came out of that. In fact, you heard stories from these guys, right? And that flight simulation story, I mean, that's something of a, you know, a book material or a movie material. I think someday, wherever is Praveen, we hope to see you on a movie with Indian flight simulators all around, right? It's fascinating. So that whole experience taught me. In fact, Jay said, Jay, this whole effort is going to kill a few people, and I'm one of them, right? So if we didn't get our act together, there were 2,000 startups and a small team of 17 people who had to go through all of this. And you guys know the deal flow story, right? I don't have to tell you anything. And especially if you want to do justice to it, right? I mean, if you can just do and I've been part of the academic life too, and where I know how this peer review happens on the research papers. It's not pretty. That is why great research doesn't come out usually. So we didn't want to be ad hoc about it, so we wanted to put a method to that madness. And doing that in a human process way is actually hard. But you can't do much in the 30 days that you had at that time. So we did it. And at the end of the first edition, regardless of all the great stories, I need one more mic? Oh, okay. So, all right. So I'll not turn back. How about that? Okay. So here you go. So then I actually went, I think just a day or two after that, I told Jay, this is absolute madness. You really can't. And then he was telling me 2,000 startups in that edition, 10,000 in the next one, right? So then I said, okay, I just, you know, up the kill count to 100x. You know, a lot of people will die if you don't do this right. Then I went back and told him, we will try and digitize this as much as possible, okay? And that's a never-ending process, of course, and I don't think we are fully done yet. But I'll tell you this much. we can handle the 10,000 startups this time. At least we got to that kind of a process, okay? So, and you guys all have started the process. In fact, it actually started 2 weeks ago, Jay, in Bangalore. We asked all the startups to apply, and we went and told them, look, at least put some attributes of your startup in, some data, so that we can do a nice exercise, at least first round of matching, instead of just doing a random pairing of the investor panel versus the startups. But like, it's India, right? It's all jugaad. So people will show up, and in fact, I'll not tell you the name and all that. People will come, we're raising $100 million, and it's all confidential, and we need to put you in front of some investors. I said, good luck to you, man. Beyond that, I really don't know anything and can't say anything. But if you start getting simple things, and as Satish said, right, it doesn't have to be this mega million story, something that makes sense in a context. And that's what the platform does. So Entropy is a platform. Many of you, in fact, I'll give you the statistics. And I say this as a reminder that all of us should commit to this process. So 1,001 is where we cut off the registration for this event. And 120 of them were redundant, right? So they will put the same entry in multiple names, multiple emails. You filter all that out. Exact count is 880, okay? Out of that, 67 have actually put the data to a point where we can process it. Okay, another 100 have put, also have put the data to a point where we start thinking about it, right? It's really not going to end in a meaningful outcome of matching, right? So I have one request from all the startup entrepreneurs here and elsewhere. Please take that first step of putting that basic data in. And I have a request from all of you, and I know many investors are sitting here. Please be a little kind. This is the India way. We are not going to get to level 5 maturity on day one, but it'll get there. And I think what I see happening through ISF is what I call, in my words, the democratization of entrepreneurship. I think the guys who earlier didn't have hope, in fact, there are many VCs I have come across saying, if you're not from IIT and if you're not, below 30, don't even talk, right? So that's okay. I mean, that's their money. They have the freedom to say it. But beyond that, I think there are lots of people who are not from IIT. In fact, I think there are a lot more who are not from IIT and a lot more who are beyond 30. And I think they will deliver value. And I think we need that, right? So my request to all of you, take that a little gentler, kinder approach in the first few rounds. So you may see chaotic pairing and, some random conversation. And if that ever makes you wonder, why am I here? Then remember Jay's words, why you're here. I think, but my guarantee is if, there is that little bit of, positive involvement from all of you, leave it to me and a great team. And thanks to Jay, he actually helped me find some of these teammates. We will deliver that platform where these sessions will happen in real time, right? And the great story of Y Combinator and the demo day, right? While it's a great story, it's a great Silicon Valley story. And I think if you ever followed MasterCard and Visas, to the T, we would have never had a UPI in this country, right? So we are going the India way, okay? And we will make it happen. There will be an India platform that will actually make every day a demo day. So I think you can democratize entrepreneurship when, in a very rational way. And we are not saying that the slops will get the stage. I think the real meritorious ones will get the stage. But that requires the first few steps to come together. So that's the framework. So in real terms, what do we do? What do we do today? And what do we do later? I'll cover that in 2 minutes, and off to you guys. What do we do today? There has been, as I said, the Indian jugaad way of getting all of you guys together, right? So there are some rooms, there are some startups. You will sit and have some nice conversation, okay? We're hoping a lot of them will lead to a follow-on conversation. And Satish, absolutely no disillusionment anybody that they're going to walk away with a check. And if you're writing, okay, then stop. We have better names for you to write the check for, all right? But after that, if these lead to follow-on conversation, great. If not, we are on this continuous journey of refining the data from the startups and refining the thesis from the investment crowd and continue to match, run that engine to keep on matching, okay? And today, there are 10 rooms. I don't think we need 10 rooms, but thanks to MSR, very generous support, we have, if needs be, we have 10 rooms, and we have the investor community representing there, 4 or 5 per team, and some rooms have bigger teams, right? And schedule issues, et cetera, we may not have 100%, attendance there, but do go there. they're on 3 floors, second floor, third, and fourth floor. We are in the 5th floor here. And each floor already has, and all the volunteers who are here, can you guys please raise your hands if you're here or if you're already gone to the floors. If they've already gone to the floors, some of them are here, they will help you, right? And in case if any immediate rejig to be done in getting you guys consolidated into one room or break it into multiple rooms to have those conversations in a meaningful way, they'll help you. So please work with those volunteers in each floor. You had a communication coming to you in terms of which room, which floor you're in. Go there. Startups, you guys have had a communication, which floor, which room, go there. Feel free to have informal conversations, but keep it fair. If somebody's already scheduled, give them the first opportunity. But if there is time open, why not? Have a minute or two conversation and see where that goes. That is for today. This hall here is an open pitch arena. So after all of these guys go there, we're here, some of us, and anybody can come here. Only difference is there you get 10 minutes to pitch, here you get 3. Okay? But don't worry whether it is 1 or 10, something will come out of this. Okay? This room is open for rapid pitch session. We have had, just as a caution, 2 more rooms, that the COE on level 2, COE1 and COE2 as extra pitch sessions, but I don't think we'll need it. I think we can have everything here. So volunteers, 10 rooms, you take them there, all the investors and the startups. Rest, stay here in the rapid pitch session. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun over the next 2 hours, hearing the ideas and seeing the energy from the entrepreneurs. Now, what will happen beyond that? Don't stop there. We're inching closer to that 10,000 target, and we need constant refining of that data and whatever that you want to take to market as an entrepreneur, whatever support that you want from the ecosystem, all that clarity we need from the startups. And we will work. We have a small team, for all of you and others. We'll start working with you, getting your inputs on what kind of startups would you like to see. It's basically your thesis. We'll program that in so that a lot of this will start happening. Think of it as a deal flow platform for you guys, right? It's already there. And hopefully, success stories coming out of FEST'23 would be hundreds of those versions of those stories that you heard from here. So they already have this in your WhatsApp. So we're going digital. Okay? So yes, and we have copies if you want. We do have paper copies, not many. We'll help. It's in the WhatsApp. There are volunteers who have paper copies, and they'll help you. And at any point you have any question, 3 of my guys are right here next to that camera. They will be. We are here to help. Okay? All right? So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to a very energetic set of pitch sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina Garu. We will open for any questions from friends from media. Any questions for Jay Garu are related to ISF or related to overall startup investor connects?
You will talk to them later as well.
Okay, sure. Okay, with that, right, a special announcement, you would have heard Dina Garu. I request all delegates from startup to look at your communication. You would have got it in your WhatsApp, or we do have volunteers standing around there. Please go to your respective rooms. I request you to be there in 10 minutes or so we can start the pitch program. I request all investors and mentors to please stay back in this room. We do have distribution of trophies, and we would love to have a group photograph with you all and a coffee break here. With that, I request Mahesh Garu to do vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, investors, speakers, and startups, thank you all for being here for this remarkable Investor Connect and Curtain Raiser for India Startup Festival 2023. So first and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. J. Chaudhary for bringing you all here under one umbrella, and especially under the circumstances with his health condition, still is able to pull all you guys here. Now I would like to thank all speakers here who is on the stage for your valuable speeches, and I'm sure these speeches will broaden the thoughts of all startup companies. And also, I would like to thank all the investors and mentors who are here. Without you here being for your valuable time, I don't think this event would have been of this scale. And I would like to thank media and press for coming here. With your support, we'll take our mutual goals to a larger extent. So furthermore, I would like to thank all the organizing committee members and volunteers, especially from Entropy, Brand Hill, Satyasai University for Human Excellence, JAMA Botanics, and a special mention to the students of Symbiosis College. So last but not least, I would like to extend my special thanks to T-Hub and MSR Garu and his team for not just providing this venue, but also their back-end team has worked day in, day out to make this event special. So in conclusion, I would like to thank once again for all the members who are here for this event, and I would like to extend my invitation for our flagship event, ISF 2023, which is going to be held at Muddanahalli, Bangalore on 10th, 11th, and 12th of August. Thank you one and all.
Now I request all the invitees to stay here. There is a group photograph we're organizing with all the investors and invitees. Please stay here and we'll have a coffee served maybe outside after the photograph. So I request all our volunteers to organize some chairs so that we'll have a group photograph with all the invitees. Namaste. My name is J. Chaudhary. I am the founder of India Startup Foundation. Through the India Startup Foundation, we have been setting up world's largest startup festivals. Last year we started, that was in October, ISF 22. There itself we saw more than 2,500 startups, both early stage and growth stage. They all competed for a prize money. Out of that, we selected about 15 companies. And post-conference also, we started mentoring them. Normally, during the conference, they come and meet the people, they give their presentations, and whoever gets the money. But our post-conference, generally, this is not happening in the country or elsewhere also. And we want to make sure that there is a continuity of mentoring. We have more than 250 global mentors. Some are in India, some are in Europe, and some are in America. They all, every week, they give their 1 hour time to mentor these selected startups. It's a great opportunity.
Request all investors to please gather for the group photograph. Request all investors to please gather for group photograph. Yeah. Request everyone to please gather for group photograph.
Wait, 1 minute. 9866, 98. Yeah, I request all the mentors, investors, and all the business leaders, invitees to sit here for a group photograph, while all the startup company founders, they can actually go to the other floors for the next of the pitches. I request our volunteers to guide. I request all our volunteers, please guide so that all invited guests are properly said.
Yeah, we need to make
any startups who have any questions, please stay back here. Our volunteers will come and answer
Request
your
everyone
questions.
to please settle down quickly.
I request all startups to stay back here who have any questions regarding their pitching session. Our volunteers will come and answer your questions.
Request all investors and mentors to please join us on stage. మీరు అందరికీ మెంటర్ మీరు వెనుకుంటేలా Yep. Sir. Yep.
So any investors, CXOs and delegates, please come this way.
CXOs, investors, mentors. Ajit Garu, do you want to come in front, sir?
Please, please. So, a couple of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Ajit Garu. Sorry.
Yeah, please, because మీరు వచ్చేస్తే అందరూ వచ్చేస్తారు. Yeah, yeah.
Do we have Rashida Adenwala Garu in the photo? Yeah,
can,
yeah,
sit
please,
here and
please. I just wanted to make sure you're there. Thank you. Do we have Tasneem Sharif Garu, if she already arrived? Tasneem Sharif Garu?
She's there.
Tasneem.
She did not come.
Oh, she did not.
So
Okay, I think we're almost there. Request everyone to please settle down for group photograph. Next, we'll have volunteers joining you. For now, it's investors, mentors, and COs, CXOs. Request. Hope we are good. We'll go next. After this photograph, I request ISF Foundation core volunteers to join in the front row without disturbing the ecosystem. Jay Garu, are we going to the
coffee, please, for mementos. Shall we do it mementos here? Here? Can Anni తీసుకెళ్ళాల్సి వస్తుంది? Can we do it here?
Yeah, we'll do it here.
Request all investors to please stay back. We have mementos distribution. Jyoti and the team, can you please come with your volunteers for memento distribution? Request Jyoti and team to come with volunteers to do memento distribution. Jyoti, give it to Jay, sir. Jay garu. Jyoti and team, request to hand over mementos. Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Thank you.
Everything went well.
Yeah. అంటే ఎక్కడ నవ్వాలో అక్కడి నుంచి కూడా కరెక్ట్గా అందుకొరకు స్టెలింగ్ షాక్ డోంట్ డిస్టర్బ్ మై ఫ్లో నేను కరెక్ట్గా ప్లాన్ చేసుకొని వచ్చాను మధ్యలో శ్లోకాలు చెప్పొద్దని చెప్పి థ్యాంక్ యూ
Good job. Everything went well as of now.
I heard the cybersecurity center.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, but I'm not here because of Best for I'm here for sir.
You have a card also?
Oh, sir, I'll connect over LinkedIn, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
LinkedIn, WhatsApp.
I'll do it, sir. Thank you. Request Jyoti and team to continue distributing mementos. Request all investors to please stay back.
I think that's more better.
ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారా ఒక ఫోటో తీయడానికి ఒక ఫోటో తీయడానికి ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారా
You want? Okay. Oh, Vijay garu. Okay.
Sir.
All investors and CSOs, please stay back.
Then we will know a lot of people. You probably know Ramesh Ketraju.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We work on patents.
See where I am.
So,
Ramesh is co-founder of UATCA.
Karthik.
Really?
I've been with Jay garu since 5 years mentoring students of various startups.
Oh, I am a mentor here at Shiha.
Okay. I'm from HR and cyber background.
You're from which?
With HR and cyber background since 20 years.
So you work for
No, I'm an independent consultant.
freelancer. HR with freelancer is an amazing thing.
If anyone is ready to give me a job, I'm ready to become a full time.
HR तो चाहिए. Consultancy by per hour.
नहीं ले रहे, ज़्यादा experience हो गया, thinking like
Yeah. Yeah. Confusion is with investors. A quick announcement. Quick announcement. Request everybody's attention. Quick announcement. Seems like few investors did not get communication on which zone to go. Below is a list of investors' name who should stay back in this floor, in the fifth floor. Vamshi Reddy Garu, Vikrant Varshane Garu, OSS Prasad Garu, Ranjit Tai Garu, Rajiv Debbat Garu, Venkatesh Sangirala, Suresh Raju, Radha Krishna Pandagari, VSR V Srinivasrao Garu, Raghu Oruganti, Anuradha from IBM, Chaitanya Goripati Garu, Kiranmai Pendala Garu, Madhukar Reddy Garu. Request 14 of these investors to please stay back in this floor. In case any investor is having any confusion, please come to the dais. We can help you out. Mr. Sridhar from Salesforce. Sridhar Garu from Salesforce. Oh. Yeah. Investors who already got their mementos, request you to please assemble outside for a quick coffee break. Then we can move for the pitch sessions. Request Jyoti and the team to continue distributing mementos.
I request all guests to go coffee and tea.
Can I get a volunteer who has startup room, investor room mapping? Can I get that volunteer, please? Volunteer for startup help desk. Startups which did not do registration so far, request you to please go to third floor zone 2 for registration. Startups who are looking to do registration now for pitch presentations, request you to please go to third floor zone 2.
Hello? Guys, you can hear us? Yeah. Just go to Jay, ask him if he can start the rapid pitch. I'll start. Just ask him. Just say, can you start? You just signal me from there, I'll start. Yeah. Jay, can you start? Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Settle down, guys. We are starting the rapid pitches here. So I have a quick request. Couple of volunteers who can help me here. Okay. Can we organize the chairs on the side for the judge? You can remove from the... Yes, you can. No, just put them on the side. See, we need the investor panel on the side. Okay? And audience can be there. The pitching person can be here.
We would like all of you to settle down. So all the investors, please take the seat in the front row. And the startups who are waiting to pitch, please sit at the back. So your names would be called.
Ravi, I need help. So we want the investor seats on the side. Side facing the stage. Just a little bit of an angle. Okay? All right. Puru, all of you investors facing the stage. Chairs for investor. One on this side facing the stage. 5 each, 10 each. No, it's open. Yes. I'll start that. Yes. Okay, guys, this is an open pitch session. So all the startups, you're getting a fantastic audience. Be ready. Okay. How many startups are here willing to pitch? Raise of hands. Very good. You guys should make everybody sit down. Okay. Manjunath, Ramesh and Venkatesh can go to the pen. Ramesh and Venkatesh can go. Yeah. Pen high, wherever you want. One of them. Do it. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys, settle down, please. Those who are standing, can you please take seats? So any of the startups taken break for coffee, etc., please feel free to slide back in. Guys, have a seat. There are a few, for your benefit, guys, I'll tell you, there are a few interesting sessions going on. There's one similar, that's actually jam-packed right now on third floor. So, huh? Do I sound like that? Okay, then yeah. Have a seat, guys. Okay. So, I will explain the format, but I have a quick question for the startups. How many of you guys are actually making revenue? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, those who are making revenue can come here. We'll set up the order of pitch. Come on. Don't be ashamed. Just be here. I need specific data on how much you're making. So, sensitive question, but you can't help it. So, these are all the startups making revenue. Okay. Take one hand at a random. How much, trailing 12-month revenue is a question. So think of your number. Okay. What is your last 12 months revenue? $2 million, 15 crores. Okay. Anybody beating 15 crores revenue trailing 12 months? No, you come here. All right. No, be here. You guys don't get stressed. Okay, so who is next? All of you are making revenue, so one of the hand will have to go up. Repeat the question. Question is very simple. Trailing 12 months revenue. Okay, he's 2 million, 15 crores. Okay, I want the next in order. I'm just setting the order of pitch. Okay, 4 crores. Okay, 500,000. Okay, so that would be 3.5 crore, 4 crore. Okay, all right. So you're kind of tight. So you're number 2, you're number 3. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Anybody beating the? No, it's okay. But what is? Okay, all right. 60. Anybody beating 60 lakhs? 70 lakhs. Don't say 60.1 or something like that. Then we'll audit your books. 85 lakhs. Okay, what's yours? 70, 75. So 85, 75, 60, 60. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Go there. Number 4. Okay. Number 5. Here's number 5. You're number 6. You're number 7. Okay. Anyone else? What is your trailing 12-month? By the way, guys, no trick revenue, claims. It is the entity that you want to pitch that revenue we want. Okay, I have a real estate business that makes something, and now I have this idea. No, it's not going to count. Okay, so 25. Okay. No. No, your pitch will also be confidential. Yeah, don't worry. No, we'll get you. No issues. 45 CR. You're not a startup. Maybe you are. Okay. No, this guy was CR. He's okay. So why not here? But you get no matter. See, whether you are making 45 CR or 450, you get 3 minutes. Okay, so come over. He's the new number 1. Your slide. Yeah. But see, we are interested in startups who are truly startups in spirit. Okay? Don't repackage. Don't put up a window-dressed entity here. And we are here to hear all the stories. What is your revenue? Come on over. Okay, you are 25, right? Okay, you are just ahead of her. You go stand there, and he will stand 1 before you. Okay? 10 lakhs after her. Yeah, you'll be just before the lady in the green shirt. Yeah, just towards me. Yeah, there you go. Okay, guys, everybody happy? We got our order of pitching. Okay, any metric would have done. So don't take it too seriously. It's not good or bad. Everybody will have a chance. Don't worry. Okay. So anyone else very, very interested in pitching? So I think they're scared by this 45 crore guy, So no worries. Now, you remember your number? Say, this is like the military style. Take your number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
11. So we got 11 startups to pitch for you guys. Now you got a mix of, the folks here, right? There are investors, as in institutionalized investors, VCs. There are angels, HNIs, who will do it more in an individualized fashion. There are corporate leaders here who probably will open the doors for you, maybe mentor you. There's a variety of, audience. Then there are fellow startups, who are wondering, how are you doing whatever you're doing, right? So, but no matter what part of the story you want to tell, you get 3 minutes, okay? I got my official timekeepers here. You are the timekeeper. You give them 1 extra second. No, I'm just kidding. You can be there, okay? So, he's already scared. So don't yell at him if he gives if he becomes the harsh timekeeper. So 3 minutes pitch, okay? Now one overrule, right? You guys can ask questions, right? So after 3 minutes, you guys, as in not everybody in the audience, the guys who fit that investor, angel, mentor bill, and you know who you are. We sent those lists to you, okay? So you get to ask the question, but keep them short so that we are fair to the next person coming here and pitching. Maybe a couple of minutes, couple of questions, right? And if the conversation does go forward from there, let it be a follow-on conversation after this, because we are not going to be doing justice to it. All right? So you guys remember your numbers. You can, all except him can step off the stage and take your turn, okay? He'll get 3 minutes. maybe a couple of extra minutes based on the questions they have to ask, and then the next person comes in. Dave, and help with a couple of other volunteers, are the timekeepers, and you can be right there. Can we have a handheld mic, please? And don't worry about slides or anything. This is open pitch. Okay, there's a cordless mic, right? Can I have one? This works? One is enough. Hold this. Go there and test it. Yes, one more, please.
Hello. Hi.
Can you pass this on? Yeah, that works. You guys keep one if you have questions, okay? And Dave, I will be here for the first one. So I'm thinking, as I said, right, this is democratized entrepreneurship. So you guys will be self-sufficient after this. You start, you touch the highlights of your business, make it interesting for them so the best outcome you can get from this are follow-on conversation, right? So more things will happen after that. That's what all of you should expect, okay? Ready? All right, so you tell him when to start. I'll stay here just for the first one or two to make sure the rhythm sets in, and then I have other things to do. All right, please.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. This is Srikar Jaji from Build Suvidha. Build Suvidha is an e-commerce platform, so where we deal with all types of construction materials. So we have built this platform around 3 years ago. So directly I will come to the numbers, and because I have 3 minutes of time only. So in first, we started in year 2020. So in COVID. So first year, we did revenues of somewhere around 7 CR, and second year we did revenues of 28 CR, and third year we did revenues of 45 CR. So this year we are planning for around 100 CR. So we are a very small team. The best thing with our team is everyone is connected to the industry. So some or the other one is connected from architecture group, or my founder is from architecture background, and I am the co-founder of Build Suvidha. So basically I'm a civil engineer. So what we are trying to solve the problem into this industry is it's a bit unorganized industry. So where we are trying to build the gap between end customers who are independent house owners or builders, realtors, for procuring a material. So our major agenda is to serve the material on time. Second thing is with best price. So because this is a market where you have a lot of potential, but as it's an unorganized sector, so many people were not coming into the industry. So but now people like L&T Sufin, JSW1, and Ultratech, so all these people are coming into the industry, and I think people might know about infra market. So within 5 to 8 years, they had raised around 2,500 crores. So actually, he was one of our infra market was one of our inspiration actually. So I am here where we were looking for to expansion in South India, entire South India. So we are looking for investors, and we are looking to develop that technology as well. So we are facing few problems in technology as well as funds. So this is my our requirement. So any investors could help us in developing the platform as well as our startup. Thank you. What is your ask? So my ask is 100 CR. So for 8% of equity. Yes. So we can negotiate as well.
Right now, Jay, right now. We can negotiate, yeah. Good, thank you. So your 45 is GMV? Or?
Yes,
okay.
GMV, yes.
There are lots of shades of revenue. Okay.
Sir, around 3 to 4%.
1 second. You are part of the investor angel. Okay, good. Yeah, go ahead. Please ask. Please. Please. Yeah. Very good. No, go ahead. Ask the question, please. Yeah.
Sir? Yes. Yes.
So basically you are having a discovery platform or a managed marketplace. What exactly is your platform? And are you also giving supply chain financing in terms of the raw material?
No, sir. No, right now we are not connected to any of the platforms who are funding. Means coming to we are trying to solve the problem through e-commerce.
So basically it's an e-commerce platform. It's not a managed marketplace. Are you procuring from the vendors and supplying to the doorstep of the consumer?
Yes.
Okay. So where is your market right now, Hyderabad?
We are connected to all the parts of Hyderabad.
Where are you supplying? What are the regions you're supplying?
So we are working with all the builders. Means I didn't
in Hyderabad, do you supply? What are the addresses you deliver to?
So Aravindo,
Hyderabad,
construction,
Telangana. Which region? Which state? Hyderabad, Telangana.
So
majorly
into Hyderabad. We are focusing on Hyderabad. We want to expand in entire South India.
Okay, thank you.
So great questions. There seems to be some interest. What I do suggest is if you have follow-on conversation, please feel free to break out and get some more data. All right? Thank you. Who's next?
Thank you.
Yeah. Good job. Yes. Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Srikar Jaji. My company name is Build Suvida India Private.
Yeah. Please make a note. Send that to us. We'll get you more information. All right. Okay. So you're next. 1 second. Don't start. I want to make sure he's ready. Okay. Now, from a format standpoint, keep from a investment community also, keep your questions to 1 or 2. Anything more is great news for us. I'm not saying no questions, but make that a breakout conversation that will help everybody. All right, you're next.
Hello everyone. My name is Karun Tadepalli. I'm co-founder and CEO of ByteXcel. I'm repeating the name of the company, ByteXcel, and I'm the CEO co-founder Karun Tadepalli. So we are a NetTech company. We are in higher education space. We are focusing on transforming engineering colleges. So far, we have transformed 22 engineering colleges, and we have done 2.2 million in revenue. Our contract value is close to $5 million since the financial year ends before the academic year. So we have accrued to 2.2 million so far. This is all in US dollars. So conversion to Indian rupees is around 17.5 crores is what we have done. What we are trying to do is the biggest challenges in the colleges today: curriculum, faculty, and then lack of infrastructure. Our USP is the platform. We started as a SaaS platform, but realized there's no intuitiveness to that. So that's why we made it a hybrid model where we will be leveraging our educators in order to deliver in the classroom. So most of our educators are moderators or coordinators, and all the classrooms are discussion mode. So we leverage a lot of technology in order to deliver that. How do we approach our colleges is by cognitive sales. We never do sales. So basically what do we mean by cognitive sales is understanding the college, their needs, and then making a transformation. So we become part of their board of studies, our administration council, and then we start modifying that. So far, as I mentioned, we started as an add-on program, but we realized the skilling was not happening. That's why we are primarily focusing only on transformation of colleges, and we work from first to fourth year of the engineering today. And we don't focus on placement. We are very focused on learning and skilling as an outcome for students. And how do we measure the learning outcomes of the student? We have something called EPS, Employment Performance Score. So we measure the students, how they are growing from the first year of their engineering. And what we are also focused is only on the core courses which are relevant to the IT industry. We don't teach everything that's in the engineering curriculum, which are only relevant to the IT industry are the ones that we are focusing on. I'm open to questions, more than happy to answer. So it's a subscription for colleges. So it's a revenue sharing model. Depending on the number of courses we teach in a college, we get that. For example, if we teach 20 courses out of 48 in the engineering, so we'll be around 30% in revenue sharing with the college. And this is an annuity subscription. Another important metric, we have 100% retention of all the colleges. So the colleges that we are a 3-year-old company. The college that we signed from 2020 are still intact, and we are keep on increasing. So we have bigger brands. So it's not like we are only focusing on tier 2, tier 3. We have realized initially we started as tier 2, tier 3, but there are colleges in cities like Hyderabad, Pune, even Coimbatore and all these areas which need a lot of transformation, because there is a huge difference between, for example, IIIT Hyderabad is a pioneer here, right? Like they're doing phenomenally great, but whereas the other colleges, it's not being reflected. So what we are trying to do is that. So we are trying to transform in the similar manner. No, we are not. We don't get into the national education policy. We are like an adjunct faculty, and that's the reason we don't go beyond 40% in a college. We do help with the curriculum changing. We go to the board of studies, we get the approval, everything, but we don't get into the teaching and all that stuff. We have our educators teaching, but not into the like lecturers of the college or something.
Okay. So it's a B2B.
It's a B2B, pure B2B.
Where you are
It's hybrid model, 80% in person, 20% online. And our tech is basically giving the technology in the classroom. What we have realized is the whole EdTech is trying to bring student out of the college into online platform. And what we are trying to do, this is the first experiment in the whole world. If it works out, it will be the world-class product. We are bringing technology into the classroom. Because we are skilling for IT, right? Like without technology, it wouldn't happen. And today the biggest challenge is everyone focuses on basic programming. All the students lack how to build an enterprise application. That's what we are teaching. They don't know how to deploy it into a cloud, nothing of that sort. They just know how to write a single program or something. So what we are changing that, at the end of ByteExcel, once they get trained, skilled with ByteExcel, they'll be able to deploy applications into cloud, mobile applications, web applications, and everything.
Great story. Now, quick question. How many of you from here are interested in a follow-on conversation with him? Just raise of hands.
One question.
1, 2, 3. You're an investor. Then you should be sitting here. Yeah, we want the checks closer. Yeah, so please come on over. Okay. So, okay, you have a few. You saw the. If you don't mind, raise the hands again one more time, please. Just seek out after this. All right?
Sure.
And from your standpoint, you can send us a message and we'll get you guys the.
Do I still have time? Or
No, your time was up
okay.
when the first question came. All right. No, it was perfect because the time was up just as the first question came. Right. Thank you. Good job. You're next. Yeah. Give it to him. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Good
So
morning.
1 second. Before you start, everybody now settled into the format. There won't be any tussle for the stage, right? So the order is set. Guys, you remember all your numbers? Guys who are going to pitch. I'm not seeing the hands. Okay, there you go. Okay, carry on, please.
Good morning to everybody. My name is Chandrasekhar, representing Smart Bike Mobility Private Limited. I am a chartered accountant and company secretary. I am the group CEO of the company. The company mainly deals with PBS, public bike stations. I think you must have seen some stations where bicycles are there and people using the bicycles for in the morning and evening, locking the bicycles, and for a specific period they are using it. See, the thing is, the managing director of the company is Mr. Dharmin, and Mr. Dharmin had the privilege of meeting our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and given a great representation and presentation on the smart bikes. So the focus of the present government is developing 100 smart cities. The basic requirement for a smart city is having a cycle track. And even our local Telangana government, Mr. KTR also, in ORR developing around 40 kilometers of a cycle track. Now, how the smart cities in every state they are developing, and we have exclusive rights to operate a cycle track system in 3 states. One is Chandigarh, another is Delhi, and another is Chennai. In Chandigarh, we have 4 phases to complete. We have successfully completed 2 phases. 3rd phase is at the final stage of completion. 4th stage, we have already ordered for capital expenditure. Now the thing is, the promoters have already invested 34 crores into this project. Right. Now Chandigarh, phase after phase we are completing it. But once we are completing the phase, we are also concentrating on the revenue generation and also bottom lines protection. The thing is, it is not the question of continuously putting the capital expenditure. At the same time, whatever the work that we have completed, that had to start generating the revenue. Phase 1, phase 2, we have already completed, handed over to Smart City Chandigarh, and the revenue started coming from September 2021 with a moderate revenue of 1.81 crores. With this small revenue, the cash burnout is 60 lakh rupees. Now, 22-23, the company registered a revenue of approximately 5 crores and generated cash profits. So this is the confidence of the promoter that this project can be made successful. And at the same time, now what is the global concept? Global concept is how to reduce the pollution.
Sir, your time is up.
Make a pardon?
Your time is up.
Yeah. How to reduce the pollution. For that, what is happening? The people started working on bicycles. Even for small distance also, people going in for four-wheelers to two-wheelers and creating a lot of carbon and creating pollution. The average life of an Indian has come down by 2 years. That is the census. Delhi, it is much higher. So in order to do this one, we have invested very heavily into this company, and 5,500 bikes have already been deployed across 3 states, Delhi, Chandigarh, and Chennai. And 600 bike stations with 5,500 bikes. Out of that, 3,000 approximately push bikes and 2,000 odd electronic e-bikes. So people comfortably can use it. But how? Can we use the bicycle in the traffic zone like this? No. The city had to become a smart city. Smart city means you should have the cycle track. I have to use the cycle track and lock my vehicle, leave the vehicle there, and it is automatically locked. Everything is on mobile app. Then you can pick up there and come to Begumpet, leave the vehicle here, and automatically the charges will be deducted from your account through Paytm and other pay gateways. Everything is tech. We have also invested very heavily in technology also. That's why it is.
So your model is use and pay.
Yes.
And you manufacture those bikes?
No. The thing is, in the first stages, we are importing the bikes from China. But only one thing is, we have some kind of, as of now, we have some assembling section also in Hyderabad. And very shortly, we are going to start our own brand of e-bikes and push bikes. So everywhere you see smart bike vehicle. So how? Sometimes it looks very odd whether a cycle ride can become a project viable.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. If any one of the investors is interested, he can
Your time is up.
So actually revenue is there, different types of revenue streams are there. In case if anybody is interested, please let me know. I will give more details. We have very operative metrics and financial metrics to demonstrate very strongly the financial feasibility of this project.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, please?
I think you already exceeded your time.
Okay,
Thank you.
Right.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here, first of all. Thank you so much, dignitaries and the investors and my fellow entrepreneurs. And so I'm Ramya. I'm the founder of B2B Growth Boost, a lead generation company. It's a B2B lead generation company. I'm repeating again. It's B2B Growth Boost. Growth, boost is the one you drink. So it's easy to remember that way. So we started it 3 years back, and so far we had privilege to work with almost 30 plus brands from India, US, Canada, and Amsterdam. So our core area is account-based marketing. So using which we generate very high qualified B2B leads for our clients. So mostly our clients are in areas like IT services or SaaS, high-ticket SaaS-based products. So we deal only with high ticket products or services until unless they're in the B2B segment. So my idea to come here is not to ask for any investment, so that's very clear. But I want to make connections here and seriously want to help some genuine B2B founders who are a right fit to our business model. Because there are many businesses who have lots of money to invest in paid media and all, but we don't encourage any kind of paid media activities. We do everything organically using account-based marketing approach, because you know what kind of companies you want to work with. So we only get leads from those kind of companies. So that is why we call it account-based marketing. So many of you don't know what account-based is, but it's not social media, it's not paid media, but it's something beyond it at a personal level connection part. So we have to be very personalized and customized on the messaging and understand the pain points of the buyers basically. So you have to put yourself in the shoes of the buyer, and then you have to put on the messaging. So it needs a lot of personal effort, but it's definitely working compared to other channels that are out there. So for this, we leverage channels like LinkedIn and email, where our B2B buyers are obviously. So somehow we are very good at this, and we've been generated already, in 36 months, we generated $500,000 so far, and in the next couple of years, my target is to 10x this part. And if anyone have any questions, I'm open to it.
Your company is a so far self-funded company?
Yes, sir. It's completely bootstrapped.
I see. All the founders are here?
I'm the only founder.
You are the only founder.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. And this is my fourth venture. I hit the ground very hard 3 times, but I still stood up back, but this time very strong. So
you should come to the main conference where all the decision makers are coming. All
Yes,
the
sir.
global CXOs are coming,
Sure.
and Indian CEOs. So all your market is going to be in Bangalore.
Yes,
you should
sir.
participate. Maybe you should take a stall also there.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, I'll be there.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ramabhadra. I am representing Indriyan Data Analytics. Our product is FEST'23. So what we do is we are an operations and maintenance platform for buildings. So if you look what's happening across the world, one thing that's very obvious is rapid urbanization. So the number of buildings that have grown up we are in front of us right here in Hyderabad is extensive. So what we do is we help the buildings with operations and maintenance by ensuring that we help them measure and monitor their operational efficiencies and energy parameters, as well as other utility parameters. So how we do is we started this with a mobile-based data collection, and we added the IoT aspect of it, where automated data is collected for these buildings operations as well as utility consumption. And we have overlaid this now with, for some A-class buildings where there is a requirement, we overlaid all this data onto a BIM platform. So the accessibility to all this data is very intuitive for them in order to reach the issues that they have and be able to address them in the right time with the real-time data that's available with us. So we are currently delivering to over 40 customers across India, actually. We are doing commercial buildings like the Deloitte building, My Home Bhuja, My Home Twitza, as well as some networks like hospitals, Rainbow Hospital. So across the network, we are deployed. We are ensuring that they are able to manage the carbon emissions aspects of their operations. And we are giving them the visibility so they could operate in such an efficient way that they bring savings and bottom line to their operations. And this is specifically addressing the huge gap that's out there, which is with the explosion of the buildings, there is a huge requirement for both one, data, and two, the right skill, people with the skill sets to be able to do something with the data. So we are bringing this tech, so even with the skill levels that are right now in the facility management operations, they're able to utilize it and take actions to save not just on the operational efficiencies, but energy and water consumption, and look at their footprints in terms of how they're using the water, like recycling and everything, every aspect of building operations and maintenance. So we are over 5 years, but we pivoted into buildings 3 years ago. So as I mentioned, we have over 40 customers in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi. Yeah.
Who are your competition in this space?
There are a couple of competitors, but I think the level of integration that we have done in terms of having the BIM overlay and everything, I don't think there's anyone who's doing it right now. So that's a huge selling point for us for A-class builders, A-class buildings. There are piecemeal solutions out there, but those are not really catering to the similar space because of this advantage that we have.
Yes. Good. Any more questions?
So it's a subscription model. We are actually doing quarterly subscriptions. Some of the clients we have annual subscriptions. Our ticket size for annual ranges anywhere from 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs, depending on the size of the building.
Is T-Hub your customer?
Sorry?
This building is your customer?
It's going to be, because one of the ways we are selling is not just direct sales, we are also partnering with facility management companies. So Maven, who is delivering here, is one of our partners. Similarly, McLean, ARC. So we have partnered with second-tier facility management companies. We have approached the first tier as well, but they have their reasons. They gave us award, but they have never given us business. So we are partnering with the second level of FM companies.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just got a small announcement. We have a sponsor, My Anatomy, and the CEO, Mr. Chinmay Das, is here. So,
respected dignitaries and the members of the House, I first would like to bow down in reverence to Mr. J. Chaudhary and the whole team of ISF Foundation for giving this opportunity. Before I talk about My Anatomy, I'm also a part of the sponsor and also wearing a badge of startup. Before I talk about my product or the company, I would like to talk about the problem statement for which we built this product. I passed out in 2005 in engineering, and I belong to the land of Lord Jagannath from the state of Orissa. And after passing out, I did not get a job. It's because I was, the skills what is required for the industry I was missing. It's not the problem with my alma mater. So I thought the problem statement is placement, and I became a placement officer. And I became a placement officer for an institution in Orissa, which was, the first batch was graduating. So it is very difficult for me to get an appointment from any HR or industries because it's a very new institution. So I came across 3 problem statements which we are trying to solve. The first problem statement, the inclinations of the corporates towards the top educational institutions, premium institutions or universities was my first problem, because there are thousands of engineering colleges or techno management institutions who have 10 to 15% of the students who are very good, but they do not get an opportunity because of the challenges of corporate reaching out to each and everyone. That's my first problem statement. Second problem statement, I'm sure everyone is aware about NIT Raulkela, which is a premium NITs. But as because the nearest airport, which is Kolkata, Ranchi or Bhubaneswar, which is 500 kilometers away, so very rarely the company wants to travel by road 500 to 600 kilometers. So I always felt how a student is a party to build an airport nearby to get an opportunity. That's my second problem statement. My third problem statement was, whenever a company, any company or employer goes to a premium institutions, they give a premium package of 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs. But it is worth investing that much amount for each candidate who comes from this premium institution. I don't have an objection onto it. But when they go to a tier 2, tier 3 institution, their salaries are pretty low. But my problem statement was, there may be one good student out of 1,000 who can outbeat and outperform any premium student. So it is about a potential which was being deprived of opportunities because of these problem statements which I came across in my last 15 years. 5 years back, I started a company called My Anatomy, and the company which basically focus on enabling equal opportunities to all. That's where we started an outreach platform where one click you can reach out to 5,000 plus techno management institutions, millions of candidates, get their applications from the campuses, and there is a competency mapping tool which auto-evaluates based on the job role you are looking at. Then we have a pool of pre-vetted talent or a vetted pool of talent who are already pre-screened, pre-assessed, and then it goes to the early talent learning program. I wanted to confess here, I'm a bit nervous because today I feel that there is a nervous system really works when you have so many dignitaries, so many investors. मतलब पहली बार मैं देख रहा हूँ पैसा देने के लिए इतने लोग बैठे हैं. So that's for me for the first time. So we are a completely non-funded and bootstrapped company. I must say that every time everyone looks at, oh, thank you, you realize it? Thank you. So we are a 120 plus employees company today, completely bootstrapped. Today our run rate takes over our burn rate, and last 5 years. Last year we have, so before that going to all our ARR, MRR, because I'm not here for just investment, but also to network with the people and help startups, the kind of problem we came across as a startup. So first, getting a pool of good potential candidate with a right and like-minded candidate to come and join with you to take your mission, your passion, making it successful. So what we did, we created a test called National Competence Employability Test across India, free of cost for all colleges, all students, and defined a preset of pool of talent which is available in one click. So we would like to offer, it's with honor, respectfully, we would like to offer all the startups a free login and more than 500 to 1,000 assessments or competency mapping, and to look at those vetted pool of talent. The reward of recession, which is recently going on, a bit creating a stress in various engineering colleges. So hence, if as our Honorable Jay sir today called that the startups should help creating jobs. So we would like to come and join in this mission, and I will request the ISF foundation team to help us with all the startups details, where we will reach back to you, helping you in getting your pool of talent from the campuses, and it is completely free of cost. So I wanted to thank about our, because I'm not here for investment, but wanted to give an example that I love trying to, I love spending my own money to earn money rather than initially looking for investment. But yes, it is always about scalability, the speed, which needs infusion of investment. So there is no doubt in it. So we have last year near about 10 crores. We have reached to the revenue last year. Last year we were at 4.5 crores. Like 2021 we are at I think 1.7 crore. And when we started at 70 lakhs, that's how our run rate started. Basically we charge the corporate, we don't charge the colleges and candidates in any manner, because when I call ourselves, or we call ourselves as an equal opportunity enabler, we don't want to create any roadblocker for enabling equal opportunity. Thank you this is from my side. Thanks so much. Any questions for me? Okay, please.
Thank you.
Your time is up.
Namaste, I'm Vishnu from Asanville. 5 years ago, I lost my uncle, and unfortunately, he did not have a succession plan in place. That is when I discovered how challenging it is in India when you don't have a will in place, your family members go through a lot of strife. This is actually a huge problem in the country. Over 95% of Indians do not have a succession plan in place. Quick show of hands, how many of you in the audience have a will? That's four hands out of a packed room in T-Hub where everybody knows about fintech. So the problem is there is 1.5 lakh crores of unclaimed wealth in India. India is poised to become the world's third largest economy, which means all of us are earning post-tax income, putting it into fintech like demat accounts, mutual funds, of course FDs, bank accounts. Your family members have no clue because no longer paper statements are coming to your homes. There are startup founders here. Your vested equity is your legacy. And that is also a huge challenge. How is your family going to get that? Fundamentally, the reason I picked this problem is the social fabric of India is changing, whereas the inheritance laws are from 1956. I'll give you a simple example. If a Hindu woman dies without a will, all her self-acquired property goes to the husband and the kids 50-50. The parents do not get anything. Whereas if a Hindu man dies without a will, 1/3 goes to the mother, 1/3 goes to the wife, and 1/3 goes to the children. Father doesn't get anything. Most people don't know this. So in an India where you're treating men and women the same, don't the parents of the girl child deserve to be taken care of? This will become a huge problem in the future when we become the world's biggest fintech market. I'm delighted to inform you that we are 200% oversubscribed with our funding. We won Tim Draper, Elon Musk's investor in Tesla and SpaceX, his Shark Tank. After that, Techstars Growth Fund from the UK invested in us. We've also won Bits Pilani Shark Tank. The reason I'm here is to create that, incept that idea in your head that we are all mortal, we are all working extremely hard. Indians are wonderful at earning money, saving, investing, but for some reason we're very bad at ensuring legacy planning. Through Asan Will, we are also giving back to the society. Number one, we have raised $14 million for various charities through wills. So I have donated to my alma mater, Bits Pilani London Business School, and Akshay Patra. So you can also help build India by giving maybe 0.5%, 0.25% of your total net worth, which will not make any difference to your family, but it will help reduce the inequality that we have in the society. Also, number two, out of 3 customers, every 1 customer is pledging their organs. In India, last year, only 15,000 organ transplants happened. Our population is 1.5 billion people. Asan Will alone will be the single biggest organ donation platform in the near future. That is part of our karma yoga as well, to try and give back to the society. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, if you want to write your wills, you know where to come. Thank you.
How much time will it take if I want to write a will for my family?
It will take 15 minutes, sir. So step number 1 is you list down what assets you have. Step number 2, you decide who gets what. And after that, our lawyers will prepare your will, get it notarized or registered, all for starting at 3,000 rupees.
So this is legally valid in all the courts?
100% legally valid all over India. We have over 120 notary partnerships, registration partnerships. And we also have a big NRI audience. So think of the classic use case, children are abroad, parents are here, they are inheriting assets, no will for their Indian assets and no will for the parents. It's a huge problem, just in this
How much you charge for writing a will?
2,999 with notarization.
2,999.
3,000 rupees with notarization.
Around 3,000, just
and
for one will?
For one will, and if you want it registered, then it is 7,500. Full end-to-end service.
Excellent.
Correct. It's the same process like you buy a house. So you can go to the sub-registrar office in your city and you get it registered there, but we'll take care of that for you. Correct. So basically, typically a person writes a will and every 5 years they tend to update it whenever there's changes in their life. So those amendments are also covered in our product. We've also added something called residuary estate, which means, let's say you write a will today, and in 5 years, you buy another apartment. Then your question is, oh, now do I need to add that apartment in my will? Luckily, the residuary estate captures all future-facing assets. So you can say, I'd like to give my residuary estate to my son and daughter equally. That solves the problem of future assets. So we started 8 months ago, and we've got over 5,500 customers, and all over India. Luckily, India has one common law, and we've also written wills for the Indian hotspots, Telugu hotspots of US, New Jersey, London, of course, Dallas, wherever the NRI crowd is.
So for anything, it's not physical assets, it's crypto, everything.
Exactly. And
For
in
startups,
fact,
equities, everything.
In fact, all the angels here, I am pretty sure, please correct me if I'm wrong, your family has no clue about your angel investments. It will be a nightmare. Every day I solve customer problems of this. So we do all assets, especially digital assets, because the future will be digital. The 1.5 lakh crores lying unclaimed, my guess in the next 10 years will become 5 lakh crores. RBI has started a fund called DEAF. That fund itself is growing at like 40-50% CAGR every year. So clearly this is a huge problem. Nobody likes to talk about it, and I'll depart on this one line. Yudhishthira and Yaksha, there's a conversation, and the Yaksha asks Yudhishthira, what is the biggest wonder in the world? And he tells him, we see death everywhere, yet we are oblivious of our own mortality. Ek din sabko jana hai. So get ready and do it at some point in your life. Thank you.
It's interesting concept. In fact, like I know the pain points of will because I live in US and I had that whole pain working with attorneys and working on the will part. Thanks.
Asan will, AAS. Asan will, AASAANWILL. If it's insurance, it should be LIC. If it's will, it should be Asan will. That's the slogan. Yes, sir.
Have
100%. Yes, when I turned 30, yeah.
I think the follow-up questions can be done later. So,
thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Pradeep Vamana. I am the co-founder of Prudency. Anybody here who has undergone a knee surgery or any of your family, if you don't mind, can you put your hands up? Great, a couple of them, 3, thank you. Every year in India, there is about 2.5 lakh to 4 lakh knee surgeries or hip surgeries that happen. When a knee and hip replacement surgeries happen, the surgeon will have a lot of blood splashes on his face, bone debris coming at him, and what is called the cautery smoke, which is carcinogenic coming at him. So he has to protect himself, and he uses something called the surgical helmet. He also protects the patient because his exhaled air should not go onto the patient's wound, which may cause infections. So therefore, he wears a hood with a helmet to protect them. Now, the surgical helmet, there are only 4 companies in the world manufacturing surgical helmets apart from Prudency. And our product is the lightest surgical helmet in the world. It is just 350 grams, and compared to Stryker, which is a $17 billion company, if I'm not wrong, is 40% lighter, and we save almost 2.5 lakhs per set of 4 surgical helmets for the hospital. Today, we have a monthly turnover of about 10 to 13 lakhs, and we launched the product in February this year, and we are continuously growing at around 15 to 20%. We want to integrate new technologies into our surgical helmet and launch it in the US market. Last 4 weeks I spent in the US researching and talking to a lot of independent distributors and orthopedic surgeons, and we found a great fit. In the US, close to 1 million knee surgeries happen, and totally the annual market is about $88 million. So this is the start of the respiratory protection market that we want to start, where we just deliver air. Next, we want to filter viruses, like coronavirus and things like that. So what is called the powered air purifying respirator market, and then extend it to other gases and volatile organic compounds, which is a $2.6 billion TAM worldwide. The product roadmap is, first we have launched this surgical helmet in February. We are going to launch the second version of it in a couple of months with LED light and HD camera where they can record complex surgeries. Then we are going to go into augmented reality where it can has a potential to replace surgical robots today, which is typically bought at 3 crores. The surgical robots, the primary purpose is to have the alignment between the hip bone and the, in a straight line as I stand. And that's what augmented reality can replace and do it. So this is our journey. Just a quick word about the founders. I have got about 22 years of experience in sales, marketing, and strategy. Last 11 years I spent in Europe and US building businesses for larger companies. And today I'm here to build my own. My partner is India's top product designer. He's got about 23 years of experience in product design. He's won 4 national awards. Some of the notable products that he's designed is the Commonwealth Games baton in 2010, which was a national pride. And the Formula 1 trophy in 2010 and 11, apart from many other medical devices, about 120 medical devices.
Sir, sorry to
So with that,
interrupt.
I
Your 3
open to
minutes is
questions.
done.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Pradeep Vamana. My company's name is Prodency, Prodancy. Thank you.
Why you need to have helmet only for knee surgery? You don't need it for other surgeries?
That's a great question. So typically for other surgeries also it is required, but the infection rate in knee surgeries is much more because of the implant. So there is a higher sensitivity towards protecting the patient and themselves. While other surgeries also it's required. So we are first starting with the orthopedic segment, then we want to launch it into other segments. For example, dental, although it's not typically considered as a surgery, it is also a process where there's a lot of splash that happens. That is again required.
Sir, is it a operation heavy and how would you scale it up?
Sorry, sir?
How would you scale your business?
Scale. See, we have a lot of distributors across India who are providing knee and hip replacement implants today. So we are going to have distributors across India. We will have 4 sales teams, one in south, north, west, and east, who will in turn interact with the distributors, and the distributors have got solid relationships with hip and knee replacement surgeons, and they in turn will sell the product. That's how we are trying to scale it. Same thing in the US. We have enlisted about 60 independent distributors. Yes, sir.
Multiple products in this segment, right? Why is this your product, your helmet is unique?
Yeah, so there are only four products across the world. Ours is the 5th one. Our product is unique because it is 40% lighter. It is almost 200 grams lighter. So when a surgeon bends down and performs surgeries for 2 hours, that 200 grams make a huge difference. That is point number 1. Second, there's what is called the chin bar, which when they bend down, it actually hits the chest bones. So that is not there in our product, so it is much more ergonomic. Right? The third is we have eliminated the need for a custom battery, and therefore it reduces almost 2.5 lakhs of capex. Right? So happy to discuss more offline.
Yeah. So
we are raising. We need about 50 lakhs as working capital to launch our scale our India business because it's more or less profitable, and we want about 3.5 crores to develop a FDA approved product and launch it in the US in the next year. So totally about 4 crores. Right.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Your Q&A time is also up.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vishal Kumar Kistapuram. We are a tech company in semiconductor domain. So let me start with the problem statement, right? So Indian Semiconductor Mission has quoted recently that for semiconductor, we need 86,000 skilled workforce, skilled engineers in next 5 years. So you may ask this question, hey, we are having almost 1 to 2 lakhs engineers passing out every year. So what's the big deal about it? So the big deal is, I think, to help you understand this problem. So let's say, I think recently there has been a news that Vedanta Foxconn has tried to start a fab in India. So this is in 40 nanometer, 28 nanometer, 40 nanometer technology. I bet most of you who have recent phones, you will have technology of 10 nanometer or below. So the challenge here is that the technical know-how is very difficult, and people who possess this technical know in semiconductor industry are highly valuable. Whereas in our academics, so we don't have the technical know-how, neither the tools. So I come from an industry which is semiconductor industry. I have an experience of 15 years in semiconductor industry. I worked in Xilinx and Qualcomm, etc. So this Sumedha IT is a semiconductor edtech company. We train both students as well as the corporates. And our product is a VNC lab, which will have 24/7 access, which runs on Amazon Cloud. And we have partnership with Synopsys and Cadence and AWS to run these labs. So we also have curated labs, curated content, along with the industry mentors who guide them. So this is our product. So in terms of the company, so we are bootstrapped. We've been running successfully and profitable for last 5 years. So last year we did 6 crores overall revenue, and then our CAC is less than 10%. And as you can imagine, we are not like wide net company where we look for skilled or at least only electronics engineers. Unlike like any other maybe other edtech company, our target audience is only electronic engineers. So in terms of the founders, right? So I come from IIT background, and I've been there in the industry from almost 15 years. My other founder has 18 plus years of industry experience in semiconductor. So all of faculty are all industry experience. So what we look forward to is that, so we are expanding right now. So we are Hyderabad-based company. We are expanding right now in Bangalore. We want to reach out to other city. We are mainly offline business, not the online edtech company. We are offline business where, as I mentioned, the challenge is the technical know-how. So the students need hand-holding. The students need special attention in each and every step. So that's what we do. We are offline edtech company. So, our requirement is that we look forward to some capital in terms of either debt or equity to expand into other cities. And of course, we look forward to some mentors and advisors from the community. So with that, open to any questions. Thank you very much. Yeah, please. Sumedha IT, we are in Nizampet. We have 100 square feet, 10,000 square feet office there at Nizampet. Yes. Revenue source. Laser source. Okay, so what I mentioned is that overall, Indian semiconductor companies are there trying to fabricate, and we are trying to help that industry with the skilled workforce. So we are an edtech company there, not really the... You're asking the technical question. I come from semiconductor industry. If you're asking how does the chip fabricate, they will be using EV light, etc. If you're asking that specific question. Okay. Sorry, you're going into the technical details of how chip gets manufactured. Probably we support that industry, and I come from that industry. Yeah, definitely we can catch up on that. Yeah, thank you. Any other question? Yes. See, the revenue which we are looking for is in terms of, currently we are 6 crore revenue in last month. So we are looking forward to anywhere doubling to tripling, because we will be starting up the Bangalore site soon. So we wanted to raise some capital to go at least 5 cities. So the target revenue is somewhere about 20-25 lakhs crores is what we are looking for in next 3 years. So exit strategy for the investor. So as of now, we have not thought through in terms of the specific details, but some of them could be a buyout or some other aspects is what we could look at. Yeah. So with that, if no questions, thank you very much. Yeah.
Hello, I am Satish Kumar. My company name is DiagnoSmart Private Limited. My product is DiagnoShop. So nowadays, everybody is working on AI, and many people are venturing into healthcare AI. And any AI ML algorithms needs a lot of data. and most of the people are using data from open source data from some universities or Kaggle competitions or other sources. So we have come up with some SaaS platform for diagnostic centers, and we have around 1,200 diagnostic centers on our platform, and around 60 to 80 diagnostic centers are using our report generation module, and lot of data is being collected. Almost 1 million tests are done on our platform, and 5 million parameter data is available on platform with 60 plus diagnostic centers using our platform. So this data is very useful. As of now, our presence is only in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and with this data we can give like, okay, hemoglobin parameter. So how is it in Hyderabad? How is it in Vijayawada, Guntur, Mangalagiri? And gender-wise we can give male and female. How many tests are being done? And age group-wise we can give. And also we can give how many abnormal values are there, below normal and above normal. Like this, for all parameters data we can give. So our next immediate target is to scale our operations from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh to around 700 cities, towns and villages where the population is 50,000 to 50 lakh population. And the main thing is now the data is there, healthcare data is there with only organized sector like big hospitals and big diagnostic centers. But our concentration is on small and medium diagnostic centers who earns 50,000 rupees per month to 15 lakh rupees per month. And so around 700 cities, towns and villages, we want to onboard at least 5,000 active diagnostic centers who will use our report generation module. And at least from that, we are charging very less, only 6,000 rupees per year or 750 rupees per month to use our report generation module. And yeah, at least with 5,000 diagnostic centers, 6,000 rupees per annum, at least 3 crore rupees revenue will be there. And to acquire that, we want to get investment around 4 to 7 crores rupees. And apart from that, using this data, we started generating market research reports which are suitable for pharma companies, food and beverage companies, insurance companies, for NGOs, trusts, and government also. So pharma companies, they want to come up with new drug. We can come up with, apart from static reports, we can come up with live dashboard for them where they can select different combinations of parameters and try to understand how the interaction is going on between the parameters for their new drug discovery. Or if food and beverages companies are there, if they want to start some supplement for D vitamin or B12 vitamin or hemoglobin or anything, they can use our market research reports, which the data which we got from around across India, like 700 cities and diagnosed. So that will be very useful. They can launch, they can make a market sales plan.
Sir, sorry
and all these things.
The 3 minutes are done. We'll be open for Q&A now. 3 minutes are done. Your time is done.
So yeah, so these are the two things. One is subscription fee from the diagnostic centers, from 5,000 diagnostic centers, and market research reports. We can, people, all sectors, they can use it. And also we are into AI space. I'm an electronics engineer and worked in Seoul, South Korea for 15 plus years. And we have a strategic tie-up with some medical device manufacturing company. Our team has developed some AI model for hip displacement. So they're for all their ultrasound products. So our model will detect the parts of the hip, and using OpenCV image, we can automatically detect how much hip is displaced. It is a type 1 or type 2 displacement of graft test. So we are into these three sectors. One is subscription fee, and one is market research reports, and AI space we are there. Thank you. Company name is DiagnoSmart Private Limited, DiagnoSmart, and DiagnoShop is our product, diagnoshop.com, which is being used by all diagnostic centers. And during COVID time, we sold around 2 crores to 3 crores worth of medical test kits, mostly COVID-19 antigen antibody kits to our network of people. hospitals, diagnostic centers, and this one. So that is one more revenue source. Trade, we can have a manufacturing tie-up and sell whatever their consumables required for diagnostic centers.
So your time is up right now. So any of other
Thank you.
follow-up questions can be done after the.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Murthy Chinubotla. Quick introduction about me. I've spent about 30 years in the tech industry. Last 28 years, I've been a resident of Silicon Valley, California. About 5 years ago, I embarked on a journey to modernize Ayurveda. And my starting point was to create an electronic health record system on the Salesforce platform. While Ayurveda is a fascinating area, but it has seen very little penetration of technology. So that was the starting point of our journey, where we got an app exchange listing for Ayurmega. Ayurmega stands for Health Cloud in Sanskrit. Salesforce wouldn't let us use the word cloud, so we had to come up with something different. So while we started with Ayurmega to document the patient management systems using the Ayurvedic templates that includes parikshas, chikitsas, aushadhis, and the deeper aspect of it requires a lot of different kinds of intake forms, like the Prakriti Pariksha, where you personalize. And then there is also Ashtasthana Pariksha, where you have 8 different areas of parikshas and 10 different kinds of parikshas for Dasavida parikshas. So a lot of data actually flows in, which is not being captured, as a result of which there's a lot of non-standard Ayurvedic protocols that are being happening. So the idea, my original idea was to create an electronic health record system by virtue of which we could create Ayurvedic telemedicine platform to take authentic and secure Ayurveda to the West. So as a foundation of this platform, we started building a telemedicine platform, and where we're connecting doctors in India with patients outside India, primarily in Australia, US, to some extent in Europe as well. And once we built the telemedicine platform, we have done about 3,000 consultations on the telemedicine platform. We faced a challenge to deliver the medicines across the globe. And as a result, we started a portal, an e-commerce portal. We had to build an e-commerce portal, where we are now partnered with major manufacturers of Ayurvedic supplements and medicines. And we are partnered with DHL and FedEx to deliver medicines in about 4 or 5 days across the globe. A typical example for our platform would be where a patient is in New Zealand, the doctor is in Adelaide, Australia, and the medicines get shipped from Hyderabad. So as we embarked on this journey, we realized that there's one component that was missing. While consultations and medicines were okay, we also needed therapeutic treatments, which includes chikitsas, and what we typically know or traditionally know as Ayurvedic massages, but these are very customized depending on your diseases or disorders. So we started a clinic on road number 12 in Banjara Hills last year. So far, in the last 12 months, we have seen about 650 patients who are coming to us for various areas, such as oncology support, for infertility. We have seen some kids who come in for autism. So we are trying to kind of create a modern ecosystem of Ayurveda with about 4 quadrants. The first quadrant, of course, is the first 2 quadrants are the digital quadrants, where we have telemedicine and e-commerce. The bottom quadrant would be more like brick and mortar, where we'll have a clinic and an associated, ultimately the 4th quadrant would contain the manufacturing facility with medicines that we want to manufacture ourselves. Because the margins actually and the standards that we set out to ship medicines globally requires GMP and FDA standards. So I think we would like to take control of that as we further embark on this journey. So this is in a nutshell what we have done so far and where we are. Right now we're looking to expand it, all 4 quadrants. In terms of estimates, in another 4 years, we want to have at least 75 consultations per day, which translates to about 27,000 consultations in a year, which would roughly translate to about $6 to $7 million in terms of revenue. And every consultation comes with about 1.5 times the consultation price in terms of the prescription.
Your time is up, sorry.
Yeah, last point.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we also have clinics, which we want to create about 1,000 clinics by the end of the 4 to 5 years, which will generate additional revenue for us. So this is about us. Any questions? And thanks.
So we can start Q&A round. If you have any questions, you can ask.
No questions? Thank you.
Maybe you can just announce your name of the company.
Yeah, my name is Murthy Chinubotla. My company is Ayurmega. So we have actually these 4 components. Each of these components, we want to raise at least about $5 million for each component. And for research, we want to, for both tech research and also for Ayurvedic research, we want to have another $7.5 million. So it depends on which component you're looking at. We want to embark on a journey, and we have a roadmap for each of the journeys as we continue to raise. Thank you.
I would like to call Arvind from Razor Switch.
Hi everyone, my name is Arvind. I'm the co-founder of Razor Swift Innovation. I want to start with a very direct admission. So we've never needed money in the past, we need it now, but we've never had a chance to go and talk to any investor. Obviously, this is a little overwhelming for me to stand in front of so many of you who are investors. If I fumble a bit, just give me the benefit of doubt. I want to give you a little bit of a statistical data before I actually get onto the pitch and tell you what we solve and why we solve this. As a company, we are trying to solve certain problems in the talent landscape. But before I get into that, I'll give you a little bit of a statistic on what's going on in the talent landscape. Last year, year 2022, about 10 lakh white-collar jobs were created. 5 lakh of them were absorbed by the IT sector alone, of which 50% was absorbed by what was called as aspirational companies. They are only 5 in number. TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Accenture, Deloitte, they accounted to hiring about 50% of the white-collar jobs that were absorbed by the IT sector. The balance 40% was absorbed by what is called as marquee companies, which are named 30 companies, and the rest is what was available for the rest of the world. And this is more from the Indian context. We are trying to solve certain problems, which is largely related to companies being able to hire talent, top talent that they need, and also the ability for people to be employable ready, right? So because the aspirational companies did not provide aspirational jobs and aspirational salaries, so we got to solve all of this. So we, with this being the mantra, set up Razor Swift Innovation. As the name goes, it's to be able to do things with precision, and it's to be able to do things with speed. That's the idea. We break down the talent landscape into 2 parts. There is an aspirant ecosystem, and there is a business ecosystem. Business ecosystem is the one where companies want to hire at scale. And we are talking about jobs which are either entry-level jobs, or we're talking about laterals all the way up to about 10, 12 years of experience. There are significant challenges in abilities of companies to hire at scale. They, at any given point in time, deal with at least 4 or 5 independent partners in the ecosystem. Somebody to set up a job, somebody to create a job, you go post it on a LinkedIn Naukri monster, you go to a HackerRank or a Hackerer to assess them. There's another company that actually does interviewing and finally onboarding, and this is an extremely expensive proposition. Companies spend on an average anywhere between $2,800 to $4,000 in the Indian context to hire an engineer for whom they would pay a 20 lakh salary. And you can imagine the magnitude of money that they're investing on all of this. We take away the problem through curation. We ask them to give us a job description. We have built a fantastic parser. We have also got an ATS, an application tracking system. And all of that is just given away free to a customer. We actually charge them on a platform usage model. Today, a company could come to us, place a job description, we would parse it. We have the whole ecosystem on our platform. We have companies which are in the assessment space, companies which are in the interviewing space, companies which are in the background verification space, all of that on our marketplace. They come to us, you give us a job description, we would parse it, sit back and watch the fun. We identify the resources, we assess those resources, we do their background verifications and help them hire at scale. This is also done through another unique model called the pathway model, because people usually, when they want to hire, don't know what exactly they should look for in a candidate. Most time hiring process starts when a job description is posted. So through a pathway model, what we essentially enable companies to do is identify the 4 or 5 critical success criteria. We create a pathway for success for those companies to hire. We look for talent, put them through the pathway model well in advance. So when somebody wants to hire, the relevant candidates are already there in place. So the cycle time to hire is significantly reduced. The cost of hiring is significantly reduced.
So,
while
sorry
we do
to
this,
interrupt, but your time is up.
30 seconds, I'm done. Yeah, while we do this for the company ecosystem, for the talent ecosystem, we have actually got what we call as a career page. Somebody could come onto my platform, create a profile. The entry barrier is significantly reduced. Everything is WhatsApp enabled. Everything is bot enabled. You come onto my platform, create a profile of yours called an enrich profile. We help you assess your skill for free. We give you learning and development on our platform through our learning and development partners. The assessment is all done by assessment partners over on our platform. And then your career progression page becomes the page where you not only build your profile, but you look for assessment, you look for learning and development, and also make yourself eligible to be hired by the market. And this is what Razor Swift provides today. Happy to take questions, if there's any. I'm sorry? See, we developed the product. We set up the company in 2022. We came up with the product on the 9th of March. We launched the product. We have 5 beta versions running in 5 of my potential customer places. But we think this business has got enormous potential. So we got to be able to build on technology. We got to be able to build our teams. We also got to go to market because marketing is a very expensive affair for us. So now is the time when we need money. We started with a seed fund of funding from our own co-founders, right? We invested about 1 crore. We are looking to raise about $1.5 million at this stage. And this, we think, will propel us to the next stage of growth. And if we get everything right, I think it's a business worth about 100 crores in 3 years from now, and which is why we need funding right now. Any questions?
So the Q&A time is also up. So
thank you very much. Thank you for the
any other
opportunity.
questions can be followed up after, like off stage.
So good afternoon, pleasure to be here. And my name is Manish Tiwari. I am co-founder of a company called Zero Smart Mobility. So basically, we also, mainly our main solution that we have built and we are providing services is called the CMS, Charging Station Management System. There are a lot of CMS which are already came up in last 3-4 years in the market. A lot of people started their charging operations using some CMS or other. The difference that we bring is mainly, first of all, our CMS is built like an enterprise class product. So that means that, in terms of security that it follows, let us say just, to give an example that when you connect with charger, right? You create a big vulnerability there. So the kind of security protocols you follow will actually protect your network. So, right from security to many of the features, like, many of the CMS today are standalone. They work for a specific network, but there is no services they can offer on connecting with other network. So our platform, in fact, we are one of the pioneers in India who built roaming services for India. And in fact, one of the big work that we have done it with a global automotive manufacturer was in that space. So roaming services is something that is now becoming popular, and our CMS also supports that, provides that service. Other thing is that, see what is happening that now many of the customers and different segments that are evolving, who have requirement for EV charging. Let us say workplace requirements. Let us say workplace charging is very different from community charging. Or, the charging stations operated by some big utility company. Requirement is very different from a normal charge point operator. So all those, customer segment for them addressing their fine-grained requirements is another thing that we are constantly looking into and working upon. So just to give an example, let us say for many of the enterprise customers, if they are implementing or they are planning to use CMS system, they also require, connectivity with their backend ERP systems and all. So we also building connectors, for that. So right now we have few customers. Primarily we are working with global customers. We have customers in Middle East, Indonesia, and I'm here to look at, if somebody is interested, to look into a company and see, if would like to kind of, have a follow-up discussion.
So we are open for Q&A. If you have any questions, you can ask. So I don't see any questions. So you can just announce your maybe company name and then follow up.
Sure.
We have the next Roshni Naidu. I would like to call Sharath onto the stage.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Sharath. I'm the founder CEO of a startup called Hiring Hood. The problem that we are trying to solve here is employers would like to hire people faster, but right now we don't have any acceleration platforms exist in the market. So, and other thing is that even after employers make an offer, the conversion rates are very low, and generally it takes 3 to 6 months to onboard right in the current market, but the corporates expect you to onboard people in 2 to 4 weeks. If you don't onboard people on time, if it's a service company, it's a direct impact on their revenue. If it's a product company, it actually have an impact on your go-to-market opportunities and all. So what we have built is basically an acceleration platform wherein employers come to us and they have a hot demand to be fulfilled. We create something called a contest on the platform, and we have an aggregation of recruitment vendor companies across the India, pan-India, and we mandate them to source either only immediate joiners or who can join in less than 30 days. Basically, taking hot demand on one side and hot supply on the other side, we use a lot of tech to do a matchmaking and make that transition happen. We are like in simple words, we are like an ambulance service for recruitment. And we are a revenue generating company. We are 1.5-year-old company. We have 20 plus customers with us who have actually availed our services, and we generated a revenue of 70 lakhs. And we have 200 plus recruitment vendors on the platform, and it is growing. And we have 20K job seekers on the platform we have. And we also have interesting SaaS tools that we have developed, which are using AI, ML, and deep tech and all. And other thing is that right now we are actually trying to raise a fund of 2 crores in the form of financial instrument CCDs. And we are a revenue generating company and a SaaS company. So we have customers from Fortune 500 customers. Right now, recently we got a very good deal of 150 people, positions have to be filled. 4 core order is there already on our plate. We are working towards fulfilling that positions. So if anyone is interested in asking any questions, I'd like to. See, we are not expecting them to join short circuit that period. What happens is that our recruiters go and basically find out those people who are into that window of 0 to 30. It is not that if the notice period is 90 days, we can't expect, obviously, the employers have to serve the entire notice period. That's professional responsibility. So our recruiters are going to find out those guys because that's a search cost is there. Huge search cost to find out the right guy who is available, meeting the criteria of your JD, technical skills, role, location, CTC, and everything. So someone has to do this job. So the recruiters on our platform are going to do that. Find you those guys who are available for you immediately. We do a lot more than just doing a matchmaking, sir. Like, for example, we build an independent SaaS tools. Right now, if an employer makes an offer, to make an offer, it will take 45 days, and he has to wait for 90 days. The job seeker accepts the offer. On 135th day, he will say, I'm not joining. A lot of heartburn. We have built a predictive analytics tool called Job Seeker Probability Joining Tool, where on the day one, the employer knows what is the likelihood and probability of that guy joining you or not. So you know whom to invest on because that is known upfront to you. Apart from that, we are also building AI/ML based screening and shortlisting tool, and we are trying to patent it because we are trying to build our own LLM models. It's a very interesting tool because what's happening in the industry is that recruiters are not really skilled and experienced in hiring all kind of skills and experience. The same recruiter today is asked to work on fulfilling DevOps, tomorrow sales guy, tomorrow embedded systems, and day after tomorrow full stack guy. So it is impossible for anyone to master these skills. So that's the reason we are building these smart tools where you can convert a normal average amateur recruiter into a smart recruiter because we are building an AML tool which really can help transform this. So, and for the other tools, the SaaS tools, we already have customers also. So, we will not, because we have, see, there's an interesting solution at 4 levels that's going to happen. First thing is that we believe in something called building an ecosystem model of specialized recruiters, you group it together. I think you agree with me that a group of generalist skilled recruiters versus a specific recruiters, the probability of their hiring is more. So we bundle those recruiters too, so that they are the SMEs who knows which companies to hire from and which locations. On the first level that is done. Second thing is that we do an assessment. We partner with assessment companies like HackerRank, HackerEarth and all. Third thing, there's a new solution that has come in the recent times, interview as a service. You give a JD and a CV, unbiased people are ready to offer you, evaluate that profile and give it to you. So all this is actually taken care in our assembly line, and we integrate with all those guys. Ours is a marketplace, multi-sided marketplace platform.
I'm sorry, but the Q&A time is also up. So
last question, I'll take the last question. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? No, community of recruiters. To put it simple, we are like an aggregation platform like Ola, Uber, Make My Trip and Redbus and all. It's an aggregation platform of multiple vendors, recruitment vendors across pan-India. And of course, the tech is built in such a way that it can scale horizontal and verticals. If it works in IT, it works in BFSI, automobile, e-commerce and all. And if it's work in India, it will work in US, UK, Australia and every other markets. It's just small, it can scale globally.
Okay, so
one of my colleagues is here. If anyone is interested, you can raise your hand and I can pass on our visiting card and we can have a conversation later.
Great. So I have Rohini Naidu next.
Thank you.
Okay, while the next one is joining, here's the deal. It's almost lunchtime. You can start. You'll time this, right? Yeah, okay. So let's take a lunch break after this one. And then anyone else queued up, interesting to pitch, hang on, try to network. In case if some of the interested parties end up leaving after lunch, nothing lost. Make it known on the Entropy platform that you're interested in those meetings, and somebody will follow up. The system will follow up and have that arranged. All right? So that's the last one before lunch. So after this, guys, and maybe it's a wrong way to put it, but I'll have to say it. The lunch here is only for the investors and the invited guests, right? So the rest of I guess you can avail the other facilities. All right? Thank you.
A pleasant afternoon to all of you here. Well, I'm Rohini Naidu. I've been working on menstrual health awareness for quite some time now. And through our research team, we have realized that there are 50% of the women who do not have access to sanitary products. Now, let me tell the numbers accurately. When we have 355 million women menstruating across, 50% of them do not have access towards sanitary products. Point number one. Second point is, 90% of the women do not know about eco-friendly sanitary pads. Now, why we switch over to eco-friendly products? Because how many, tons of menstrual waste is going to the landfills is 113K. So this is a huge number. So if you're not educating women on how to use eco-friendly sanitary products, or if you're not telling them that this is the need of the hour, then we are contributing to a larger, waste towards landfills, and the numbers are vast. So it's the need of the hour for all of us to understand that talking about menstruation is no more a taboo. Understanding why eco-friendly sanitary products is also very important. And menstrual waste is another very, very serious topic which we have to discuss. Now, what my company does, educating women from the rural backgrounds and also urban lot. Who are our customers? Educational institutions, hospitals, wherein even maternity pads are given eco-friendly. And Telangana India being the largest production for cotton, we thought eco-friendly pads should be made of this cotton, which are not grown without any pesticides. So this cotton, which when we use for the raw material, as a raw material, we can give a very healthy planet. We can save women. We all know that it's not the gold, pieces of gold and silver which will decorate a woman, but her health is her greatest asset. And if we address this point, I think we are greatly addressing to the larger cause for women empowerment. Education, health, child marriages, financial dependence, all these go hand in hand. So when we address girls' health, I think we are largely contributing to the nation's women empowerment. Thank you so much. Any questions, please? I know you're all in a hurry to have lunch, but any questions? So we have menstrual waste disposal mechanism, which is not the incinerator, while incinerator has, again, toxic fumes coming out when we burn the soil pads. So it is made by recycled paper, wherein we are making women, work on that, and we are creating employment opportunities for the women who come from lesser privileged backgrounds. So if they start doing this, putting the pad in the recycled pouch, which we designed, they are actually adding a lot to the economic growth. Any questions? Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Yes, please. The main source of revenue is when we put vending machines, but not with the commercial pads and with the eco-friendly pads in the education institutions, in the shopping malls, in the hospitals. I mean, people will be aware, and we have already our customers, which are corporates. So every corporate we go, we conduct a session for them, an educational session on why they have to switch over to biodegradable pads. And that's how corporates are coming to us, and they're taking, these units to their companies. So now we are launching business B2C also. B2B we already have. B2C we are launching, and for that we need the help. Any other questions? So thank you so much. Sorry? Yes, very soon we are planning to launch in the retail industry as well. And when compared to the commercial pads, we are little expensive. Like if Whisper comes for 80 rupees or 100 rupees, we are on 199. But when we compare other eco-friendly products, they are somewhere around 300 to 400. So we are little more than the commercial pads and lesser than the, the eco-friendly pads which are already there in the market. Yeah. Not, definitely not. Each commercial pad which you get in the market is equal to 4 plastic covers, and each pad takes 800 years to decompose in the soil. Let me give this clarity. Once you understand this, you will never ever touch a commercial pad. And you can actually experiment it in your own home, put it in the soil, unused pad, and see after 3 months, you take an eco-friendly pad and put it in the pot, in 3 months it gets into the soil. While this takes 800 years, the other pad, the cotton pad, takes only 3 months. So let us make this Red is Green movement and help our planet sustain more for the next generations. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great. So I would like to tell that we are taking a lunch break right now. So I would request you to come back after lunch. Thank you.